a winner. To God be the glory. We are winning. NPP.
We are moving forward. We are moving forward.
It's here for higher radio Amanada, Denver, Colorado. Obviously, it's here for higher radio Amanada, Iowa, Denver, Colorado, the Rocky Mountains, and NPP Casadia de Bremo. Obviously, number one. What's a four more to do more? Now I can say one touch.
We are moving forward. Bekwa kweni mnana dodankane be. Bekwa kweni mnana kufuatwa leo. Bekwa kweni yakwa kweni yesa ya chido. Oh, nana dodankane be. Oh, nana kufuatwa leo.
Rado. This is Victor ZAATO, Radio Amanado, Denver, Colorado of the Rocky Mountains. Today is the 20th day. And October, bring a bow. Second defeat, We serve a living God. We serve a living God. We serve a living God. And then I call it balloting. We serve a living God. And now what hataso? Ballot no NPP World Great Party, the vision, the party with vision, good leadership. Yakofa one, first position. Yana Monkofa, Omakofa the second losing. Today is 20th October, the year of our Lord, 2020. This is the NPP communication program, Radio Amanado, Denver, Colorado, the Rocky Mountains. Suno Ninja started. It's here for Frobi. What's up, Obi? Na text Obi na catch up across the Radio Amanado da NPP for the Babekasa. Oti NPP so I don't say osono aba aboke sie.
We are moving forward. We are moving forward. We are moving forward.
December 7th, a year fine.
Kakapuwa ba ya tisa wa ba so jina why. Me am director Saba so.
Big boss matter.
Me director Saba so. Director Joseph, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
It's a for higher radio Amanado, Denver, Colorado, and a NPP radio program. And I catch us a flow, be a text, or be a WhatsApp, or be a packet to cross NPP Betna, the chess or Sonaba. Or Sonosoba, chess and no Quenqua, the king of the jungle, and a friend. So, WhatsApp, or be a text, or be NPP-USA program. I hire NPP-USA program. Our radio Amanado. Welcome, I'm the director of communication, Director Josephine. May the man and I want to also. Wanna be introduce the topic now, Mamo. Eti Frobi, WhatsApp Robi, text Robi. Na catch me because our friend also be on our 6th and 7th of December. The number one choice, a ready we serve a living God. We serve a living God. It is for 2020 I'll be doing to Mama and Farm Court Director Joseph and Court, not Director here introduction. The project Director Yo Director Sume.
You are here for your mama, your mama, Papa, NPP program, your friend. Let the truth be told. As soon as you was Adri and Nepna, Nema be because we were man. So now you better me not do I say, you better radio me not do I say. For a quenya we are dear my answer, the bay, you beat me. At the other church, I gonna for near my cosu fee, a new year, and then near me can't to swore, and now say propaganda, I cosuinano. Our platform, so and I'll be and come. I give it. A bit church the name now will be a attendant horses. And may a topic, you know, a mood doctor, if you say, a name of degree, a coso, a way your mind and I say, you timmy, a domus for the yetimi, you know, you see, and pensing, you na penny beat ya, and I say, you know, I am a court, a bopart, you see me, Eddie, and we aqua for my, and pay for no more who be almost in the and the topic, you know, is Ghanaians against murder for hire in today's politics. Caneno not see if you try me be a sicrum, one will be and get him sinipan of free room and ever. And that day, if you try me only and a tear, only and a tear, a walk, baby, I yet here. Am I somewhere, you know, Caneno not a buy your somewhere, but see, and I want you and share by a poo or a mommy movie. And I see a radio station, he can't tell me the day I want them near the no be a canyon. Maybe near to a baby, and I know yet the attack to your community. And that day, to trust him about your semono, Kunumame, and Abaso. The Odi first run, your day perform, your day for a brochure, your day 40 garriso. And then your day call Odi to Quayako Mali, and the aquatic will be a man. And then your walk will be your car when one the service. Sekayana itu ekuna twatune kwa wama yosemo Ghana yen tase media nanka empire yen tibida na sosono eneno esisi MPP between MPP and MPP NDC esisi ewo baby no mo Ghana yes yen parliamentary candidate makisim akababy do sa to trust in yaho obi so akobu krofo pa ama yakwachi wo mo ma omo check of church wo mo nyina abetodwa na aso dana ye penwa na ebreda ben na yama yo sendetimi dane koye ekonoma me ase du kunua no wia na obinye kodwa na odi a obekire bo ana se ukuni pe wo ho nyina wia kwan na obedi ne so intine nano yenkomo ayede ba ye ne se Ghanaians against murder for hire. Yen who be that. Jama for yen tea be that and ya that's some your petty be who come up. It you know the beja yen paying for kakape or so na uno musuko na ubisu and the idea of it media about soswa or the other social you're paying for in our directorate in our also the other can be na the man be see her na my son do subio edamose.
But director work awful. Director.
One director also been an obesiana yatwas.
Okay, it is for me, I'm a director. It is for me, I'm a director. Josephine, NPP-USA Communication Director. One over introduce the topic. No, it is for a topic. No, it's about security. Yeah, MPP. Yeah, the MPP. Yeah, say MPP stands for one thing: the rule of law, and the rule of law. Any lawlessness are only attributed to MPP and I say you will not win because we stand for nothing but peace. Kakapi start to say we stand for peace. And then you cause on the topic no so me.
Yo, Victor Medase, the better director say we be introducing kama. Na wachire ye ekoso Ghana ekoso ema edu baby ani ebisa say na oman ya ye wo mu yi ebinum de say na omo pese ye kono na ade na ye simple so obeka wo from 2008 2012 even 2016 and amanyoko bi fa ne ho say omo beka say MPP for there I mean o dey ye betuma bu ye chida konkom pokra o MPP for there ba ma ye be pamu ebinum MPP for ba ma ombe ye say MPP for ba ombe ye say but ye nyina be attested to the fact say ye peace and development the see development in freedom san ye main a year ye de nam as MPP for say impumtu okoso our mining na watima ye na so wade wo etu ba na manfo di ntro ne na musa MPP de ba say na kufo ba ye e ba be kire se ampa sa party bu ho ba wo dwene mine anu di dima na fofi anto atana eja mahama ne mel so ba e na sesia na na do so ba sa oba be pamasu mesi oba be yesei na oye we say sa anana ba ye wa demonstrate a kire se what do Ghana fo nyinara onyi bi mfrim the policies no eye chese obia opanyini na ye nti da mpo se ye frɛ bibi Ghana ye fa ahodie no se ye edru se ye dia ye celebrate na ye nti da kora se sa o wo edi kakra we su timidi kakra o maso eno ane no enam se na pe peace nti obaye na dagbon crisis obe make sure so bia ye enam se na pe peace nti o se ye make sure se Ghana ni bia ya identify ho na fra so de ye dey se be hu Ghana fo na free SHS obi amfa kwati kwan bi so ama ma enjoy bi kwa because Ghana fo bu ho ni kromo ni ohu obeye enti ye de asundwe because we believe in development. Say development no sa asundwe ni ma enti me famma na akoya amanyo sem no ntino asanso akoya apre ya brofo beka ne se competition baby a competition bia won opanyini ye nim se nipa ni bere ye tiase ba wani bere no ani se wo kire ma kire ni ye ntira wo na ye mfa mawo panyini asem no ye simple na kwan be na abefa so a wo be kire ani nipa kura oye kanini a wodi wani mu no ade ono dai no deba mo mama nyokuo na mo ye no sa kuo na mo wo no manisu ade hunu ne tan e wo Ghana mpa mo de be ma Ghana man empanyimfu asisi mu kuo na no omo di bre te san omo adwene mu te san omo ne ye te san omo kasa te san omo bi omo no a eye ne ehye ye nkunai ana edi ye koyonim mafu beka chen say are we being uplifted or we are being led into a ditch enti amanyo kwano ne omo abadu sama omo de aba be che be fra the manifesto eni omo ne ye bi omo ye yi omo chi ayi no eye ahuhia eye very very significant na asem no ne sai asama ye kwakoto elections opanyini NPP for there de bia ya kan time and again say kawasem na menkamasem ne ye pano no yemfamma no anya ne dika ya ade ni ya yebida 1992 1994 1996 sorry 2000 2004 2008 panyini ya babeti 2020 entinka day aya bobranka ye hunu se o amanyosem yi de enka ye kwani ekoyenim pato be na trend no panyini na basa akoba se si akora no enye atemdidie o akoba se obi be kwa akobo obi pa se wo treniema bi na fa tantro kona koka se kona kope ablonfo voice na koka kira amanfo se wo ma amutisu wo ya akromfo na amanfo hu wo ntan wo se wo hu ni wo ba bi kura bi abo bi kura wo mfa mo no na wo koye saa no ebia na government na oye target to so gugan na nimase wo ba bi anu twemu a umakwatena si abopo se sumasi ebeyi na firi ho sumasi ebeyi na firi ho ipa bebre ko anyufo akasifo how akumsin or police station akwa check said there was na ebinuma say tete ye be kuro no ye kono so akwato ahye ne so abono na ye de kabima min kabi obe check ne ye wo ho kanya ntokwa
kekepe
na makamedie
kekepe
opening
wa bo ha okumsin de ntima membi so sa question answer about trust me say okoso yetiti sansem bi ekohu check bi a obi chro check bi ankrofo bi koda hotel mokobo former deputy minister of finance di tete sansem ne bi
ayi die no Mamle di anana.
Me ka ba agenda minister you know bet unim say omochi microphone wo hotel no who check bi.
Me ka ba ho.
Okay.
So an. Ti ya wo ho no ma so a agenda minister so na regional ayi. So what I say. Okay say kele di Japan case ni kra no. Tam okọ na sase so. Kom kwabu no. Kona kwabu no ne ho ye obi ahi. Kona kwabu no. And uncle for continue one of Ken, that be Papa where be or any papa. And Mujao. Now, how near Copa near letters a quite dangerous to cry, and baby, I make Kakuchi. Say, Mamma, say, and Penin Fanyan Tia be say, Minister, ya born who possess you be kunu. And ye 2 among or more to tell me. When you are Coco Hunu or Monswa. Check and so come ya science ka and then many will be air casano say entasum say will be best move be so could deal now a science one money check is said say yes entasum mouth. The question is when you pakone any check no you be say will say we need muncrofo we no or see minimum but when I check with mom or say opinion fair. Kasamo. Oh, but now look at that check. Oh, yeah, I know the hey, sir. Baby, I do no. What the man said then? Said then. On found quiet then. In some control in trouble, possess a Juma way no more could. Two shots here. Opinion. sa wokika we nyina boma ohu ofo swamp of tape sesi a yedi akọ Israel akoye verification dia ba o say you authentic enum nsem no ade biba no na me sure say said ya kan de bia no say police for bi o mani me sure say ade ne be grand scheme massive in nature but na ni nyina na ye better Ghana for ase o mu yi intel ema police for say what say we yi mamre the agenda minister de to ncha o what say kidnapping takura de dia ba ye Canadian for ye tichi wo mu say no yetimi so ano afa ye so ano wie no opanyine na tisi ye kwankwache security installations ye nhwe se betima bombo ye electricity installation and a gas installation nominally at Nadia. They made several attempts and almost that be Udiagura will share better.
And yes, I electricity post, you know, a dream moving or mushy post maybe.
2 years.
Yeah.
And a major bridge to South Dominion, you know, now they were on screening it, kakran. Said the way that could be people coffers in their jagum. Now, what to? Now, most of these things happen within a certain time. Around this time, getting to the elections, now, Maka say, oh, as soon as he won't even protect here. At all. Now, dream bonny way anywhere with him. Was the Antwerp mouth. Now, won't quote the corridors of power where you can say, where you can order the military to do anything. Now, you fa a deal with measure one, sir. Open so for MP. Now, Sham Ramaye. That's a one foreigners. Akwa ye kanana na mobile be buka na fo enti ya kwani nyina ye suade hunu ama ja ye baka kwato aba fanyini some of them are very dangerous na niema no be ba no ana sesi ehunu se we no eye nothing but an orchestration from certain quarters na quarters ni su de nyina say this is what our agenda is good because debate ni ye lusu na do dan kwa development no Ufa ba kope kura mpona chese they are not a match. Odi ba kope so wa fananado dankwa akufo ado free SHS. Said the Ghana fo ajatum. Said the yama amenoma omuni bie ne na obekwa koto yi abrochefo said the ne ebesia hayen behwem nipa mienu miensa sika ne sesa wo de ko said the abete so na wodi ni kika hunyina kika kan said ye formalize tale emfa eden no mobeka omo mejo ayi we he aka no akobo terminal 3 no akobo University of Ghana Medical no akobo we na chesa waka open comprehensive kaka cross policy kakape as obeko hokra I want you to digest a little bit more on near omo chairman kai omun communicator kokubwa beji tumu with what is going on. Is it that even though they know the chairman is in court, they are still in a way carrying out what he instructed them to do, or agenda no mo draw and or just still or follow ya na? Yeah, opanyini omo yusu words me na yeno kromano. But one of the movies I am Pepper, CIA, FBI, crime, Sanemano. Because yeah, I want to understand how human beings think, operate. Over be serial killer be. And Tama, a friend is saying, for some of Casano, or you saw 2 words: overt and overt operation. Nina a secret. Baba could be a young totally down. And so, Bakuno, totally dark. Totally dark cry. As I said, and no could go as far as if no said Madame Becano, Benin cry, young cock, could years from floor, young conco your way. And then we'll come to the operations now, obey any panels on Waka cooperating, but Nina a secret. As I said, now the agenda was Obia, young conco Kuhawa, young conco cook and the Japan. Now, young NPP. And your master plan on my job, because don't forget, Bahama say they are from the revolution. What I said, and the honor said they are trying to defend, go and do this, go and do that. And now mobile person use and no against yen. Antino, or Makwa Boni we no one. I say way before cry Mekohono, or more or more convert or more by your munons, now. Omoba yusu MPP atade. Omoya adiani Syria. Now what your communicators negum. So they have the money. They've stolen a lot. Still I go so ajiji no kra. Now what your communicators agum. Now what can say me no. Ghana yes yo. Number 1. 2. MPP abamba yenti na yesa. Hwani omo ye. So a staged. Ya kwakwa tinasi ya draw plan no ya acting until let us go and do it. Really? Tano for swamp of Kaya, pepe. And I Kwakubu Ahidibato so say, yes, definitely I'm planning war. Now you're swallow, you're dinner.
And Kakapi, Mamina follow up be. Kakapi, Mamina follow up be. NT. Don't you see, Anna Odrin said, the same way Yakoya voters register. Binmudini ho, I am normal. Is yako be register say mumbe correct mudi. Is it the same grand scheme my mama also ne pattern or fire are already war cry foul and my end to election no inviting international community? Are you seeing some link in all this?
Yes. Nini na can be a grand scheme. So Nyomaya nene say despite assurance, one time, what they young call the beginning of the EC registration. Omoka say EC is going to disenfranchise Ghanaians. Voter him fan. But NDC has not even been able to bring one person who don't have a voter ID card or qualified to vote in Ghana. That is number 1. I am true. Now, at the end EC say nobody will be disenfranchised. And they know. So EC are competent enough to make sure that everybody gets registered. Ebima ye Juma since 1992. And the figure heads are your Mokasa Ebia we corner we abano. Besides that, they have the technocrats and they have the expertise. We may disagree with them on certain things. They know power. And Mahama bet Tiagum. Now for some for Tiagum. Samidian Fiswa Tiagum. No mat Syria college agum. Yemfa wenko can say. Enti many obi obonsa oni obi to radio so. Or to Chicago. Was Ghana? I yes see you quite and say now what check here last weekend. 2 weeks ago. You could 53 people in Chicago. Weekend you could 35 people in Chicago and so Yakoba. What Yakoba anytime. These things happen, we work on them. But we go on yet to say Ghana and phobia said that. Yanko kum, they are dangerous breed of species. And we are very dangerous. And here can say such people must be rejected. No more kafan and now do danko for MPP winner and yet true. Yan yaba, I'm a baby or mocha, says when they go to the Zongos are asking, say, hey, MPP, a yabo, Muso Diawahe. Much now, Deba, or Nipano Tiaseno. One year, we man and assume command dignity. Ah, now, me, Aquatias 1 year, Shamano. No, we know what I made them in Yasa. Would we sit down and come and be binny? Non fan Kaiwo. I just say, and you know, opinion, yes, some year, Tietia. MPP, we stand for development. And until I Yamana, a free SHS. Drones, ambulances, planting for food and jobs. As you Kualugu Dam, just your first one. Do you know 2 projects, 2 contracts NDC for sire? One of the interchanges, I don't want to misquote. One of the interchanges, no, for the same price, no, under NDC, no, na 3 tier. You can say interchange tier 1, 2, 3, so sabro sign. You buy, you be negotiate for it to be 4 at the same price. You buy, na you want and this is for crackers for the presidency. The shit, no, not the Dankwan about me at Natas. Ah, I had more Bank of Ghana, more Kenya, and Rwanda, and all these places. That's how they were you. They renegotiated the same contract and got 100 cars out of it. enti we say no omo baba be dio sika dicious pa hwesa no hydro and Jenya Banyi, the number of bridges and steel constructions near here cost no penny nyagro. No man who say crystallize it now. Say your casa, abrofu your casa be crystallize ya. I to say wakako dua dear. Cabra no beba. Enti cabra no beba no or bois. Abusia penny. Ye dija na went to me and your friend Mahamano or bois. When we said cabra no beba. What I said digitization, say I can say offer ID cards now, pay 15 million. By the close of the next administration, near register Ghana for you now. Near formalize the economy, say a transaction be go through the Ghana card. Multiple chambers to accommodate other staff. You have become in the future. Your quality and data, your who foreigners, your who locals. But near the digitalization. Ya the cameras abupo honom ni adnadia Ghana beyete na obua wo kaka sa nyema we nyina no, even though in fact some people are dead no opanyini so mo ka so mo nim some of the dead no hu bibia no mo boa. That is why as a nation no as a expedite judicial yin system no obi so for some powerful some back this time kranka what one kan tontom no e die fusania won sanwem. Next PC is why actually parliamentary candidate. Shababia yakwa hu check. Oba be chidem. Enti yasam ye yasam yampese yasam bewa. Ye kanen say ye stand for peace and development.
Yo.
Ya yebi da kofo be yebi. Na nado dankwa yebi. Na nado ngurankwa dia no kofo ankasa no kaos. Na me kasa na nado dankwa na me kasa wo chebododo. So me hu sa papa obetumi ayo. Akofo ka asem sisua endi sifo kra nim no mo be sopa no ba omuni enti no Ghana no enyam prontentin sampam se de endi sifo pese ye no esese ye gidi no mama ye ntie wo mo
yo
na adwempa eni wo mo tirim
yo
enyam mo ye ni nyina ni o mo kasa ni o ne ye kuntuna se ne nyama ni nyina che so mo no Ghana fo.
That's right.
Ye form more for nana to do more.
Hashtag
na ye nyina so wo manim yem ye bia yaso wo so bi ye hu bi obabi wati asem bi ne yi police ni bia sotre na nipa bonfo omutiti mu ni omunipa bone ne nema no ye nchichi omu nyina ngum ensewam na omu belong to ani so omu kokoda na omu di omu yira duane yo fanyini medase embe ma mesaba
yo miame ne kakape we NPP communicator wana metwe no kano ahaya radio amanado yesi frobi na taxi obi kakape ka bibi ka wone nkwa aka nka menkwa de aka by this time oposampafu the other communicator, they should have been in presence by now, by the wheels of justice. We all know they grand so slow. But see, and baby, and Rana and Richie, Mahama Kokai baby, meaning say I don't care topics, so by me, a care topics in a way. For the very first time, you say Mahama is the only person, only president in his time that actually manipulated the ECR. Obviously, for evidence, maybe one evidence. Mahama Kobiena Noa was it the reason why they allowed more minorities parties to contest the election is to have monopoly over him. Just say the reason why Charlotte Osei did not allow Ghanaians who registered their political parties and were qualified, highly qualified to contest the election was so that Mahama and the NDC could equally have monopoly. What is you understand where I'm going with that? Because these are political parties that were duly registered. They went through the law. Mark of Fasa or Monfa checks or Monfa cash in Bibimbra, you disenfranchise all of them. And then we have a woman who is a lawyer. And she's like, you are duly registered. You are a Ghanaian. You've gone through all the registration process. Contest your elections. If Ghanaians want you to win, fine. A president is saying the process of doing that is to gain advantage. Make Dr. Jumahana na me bisa say mother for high in an election year coming from a political party that already has a history of going to sit in a communication meeting planning of kidnapping and killing. Doctor, me pacho for me. Dr. Jumo. Dr. No, the mama call Raphael ho. Me bacho Raphael ho.
Wow, yeah.
Rachel any sume. Me say, metaphor high coming from the same political party or more chairman in a communication meeting planning of kidnapping. The same people who were the very last to go and sign a peace deal with the Peace Council. Are we really safe?
Yeah. We find Chama with your phone in Iowa, Pennsylvania NPP chapter. I think say our security issue. No, sometimes I also blame the security agencies in Ghana.
Me patcho increase. Go closer to your phone a little bit, bruh.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Is it better now?
Yeah, better, Kakra.
All right. You know what I was saying is that sometimes I put the blame to our security forces because they've allowed themselves to be manipulated by politicians.
Maza, Kasa, Raphael, you have to hold the phone and talk loud, please.
Hello? Is it better now?
Yeah, it's better now. Thanks.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry. So what I was saying is that sometimes the police are also to be blamed because they allow themselves to be manipulated by these politicians. First of all, with what's his name? The chairman of the NDC. I think that the police investigation is taking too long. I know that sometimes crime investigation, it's not easy to prove and all these things. But with the sequence of things that are happening and everything that he said, I said it's systematic. It's keep on happening. I think your account tape it's coming to life. So doesn't that click to the CI? They say no, that's deep into this issue. And the man is still going around. I think your account, and India say a comedy but not take it serious. And for some reason, Ghanaians are also like, elder cannot say that. And you're both serious things that the man said. And everything that he said is happening. Just yesterday, I'm like MP. Do you know what he was going to do to the minister? Why are we taking things so lightly? You have to be so strong on them. I don't know why the police are so lenient to politicians. Why are they so lenient to politicians?
Raphael, you're kind of Yentiba. You're kind of Yentiba.
Raphael, you're kind of Yentu. Raphael, you're kind of Yentu. Raphael, yeah.
Hello?
Mr. Raphael, my patcho, a tier for Antonio Ocano. Can you go closer to your phone?
I thought that this week I know what I said. I'm
But your affair,
yeah, Kakra, Koso.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry. I don't know why the phone actually up. They don't make kind of say. I think say the police service have to be up and doing in that investigation, especially when it comes to dealing with politicians.
Apart from increasing volume, no phone, so phone volume increasing.
Mr. Raphael.
Apart from
me patcho, check your phone, the volume side, say from
my man is to the highest volume.
And you put the phone directly on your mouth, Minya, because me crowd Koso.
But okay,
yeah. Managing hoya super glue your hand. Go on.
Mappy, no glue. It's not make security agencies they have to really get on board and then start being favoritism when it comes to people known in politics Obia and you Ghana. It's Obia custom, what a similar kind. Everything is coming out systematically. That similar kind now a day be like everything's happening from the tip. So why doesn't it click to them to know this is serious? And now, if you take you almost a doctor, don't we have machines or gun bit na prove a doctor or it's not.
Oh, Raphael, me just said Doctor Tape need the omo they call Israel, and none of them is actually challenging the authenticity from the Israelis security analysis. So omo the tape needs to buy as an authentic one. Kakapu talked of it, so go on.
And so if that's the case, then why is he walking around as if he committed no crime? Attempt to murder is a murder, right? If you plan to do that, as a tape near authentica, why is he still walking around comfortably like he did nothing wrong? He's still an MP, and yes, I plotted to kill our minister. And then I'm doing informant, a command, police information now. What would have happened? We would have lost the lady as well. And at the end, they will turn around and then blame the government. So there's insecurity. So it's like a plot. They are planning it. And then they will turn around and then say, oh, the government is the one not securing the country, while they are the ones behind it. So to me, what I was saying is saying, I think it's time for the government to really talk to the IGP and his people. If they can't do the job, they should resign. Because what competent people will not discriminate the way a politician, way a ordinary person. Look, let me tell you, MP, oh, I'm sorry, no cool, the fee. Up to date, this guy walk around, even had the audacity to be recorded in the prison. Alleged saying Ken was behind it. And all this thing, the police are seeing this as a mere thing. They're not being serious about it.
Hello? You are on air, but it's not time for you to talk, so please hold on. Why? Mr. Anaya.
Okay.
Go on.
You know, what do you mean? Man says, Mr. Omama can not talk. Now, me can say.
Me pacho obia endu ta so be kasa no radio na e wo chi no fetu meet mama why me pacho obia enya from radio ana phone fetu mute menya backup wa ha me pacho okay go on Raphael.
Okay, yo, me that's it. If you want to see on the say, as the police no, making sure that they are doing their work right. That's the only thing I mean, the president can fire the IGP.
Yo,
IGP no bad. We all like him.
Yo,
but I think this time he has to put his foot down. Yo, and then make sure he does the right thing. Okay. It shouldn't be the police who always get away when they commit murder or they commit crime.
Yo. Yani Raphael, where NPP communicator back up neck and one also the same problem. The wheels of justice grant very slowly, but one more business say at least near baby, at least your name system Biakra or Ghana, your first systems are a big guma, the wheels of justice are big crime. Say the intimate expedition no fast because near omoko plan no me said they are rolling it out gradual by gradual, step by step, and I think I agree with him that we need to actually have special calls to deal with certain things like this that could go fast and fast as they could. Many Raphael Mesaba also I radio Amanado NPP-USA program and friend truth be told and I care about murder for high insecurity. How safe are we? Me pacho obi afra me ye fra jima onimo ho jima me pacho Dr. Juma na it just came Jima anything I don't know we don't have it here as Dr. Jima me pacho Dr. Juma so fra o ho a
Jomo
we got it wrong here and Mr. Jomo
aba also more town.
Hey, Jomo, yo, Mr. Jomo. If you have a Jomo, net is saying, you care about security, murder for hire and the plus, and then you have a with a grand scheme from NDC, where we are now. Why didn't you try?
me pacho William so ma check aka me buy me friend executives in chomo me buy my me by Friday and me say executive pacho director Josephine kakape matimu nka mo boju madam Isha mo nkoso
me pacho unim ne me pe
wa auditia be didi ama wo a friend is saying issues na cause for Ghana no it's a bit disturbing but it's also a bit exaggerated kakra because it's a political season so we have to flame everything to make the media has to flame things to catch attention so we say no be kakra ba ku me no bi na dey cause for ha enya de papa but enye ni nyina na ye gigigigigi senia yehu ye ba ye wa ha yehu no na kakapetche mu I mean he couldn't have said any better. You see, this is a plot that the NDC is carrying out step by step to be able to send some kind of signal to Ghana and say NPP are buying no yenye friend saying we are not on top of our issues when it comes to security. And Chebia and as our issue ne start to voter region hono western Togoland for issue no you could talk black and we should not joke with the matter. I say you're making sure say say one but the government should but just about 2 days later he came back and says oh this issue na say kana botremu na any omotna senior the same person said we should not give these people the light of day. Investigations later we found out say omo na mudi kan asemi ba na mudi enimu ni ade no anya mo kwa no mo orchestrate some particular one way am ku je to black one and sakra be ka say these people are not from the voter. Now the issue is you see border now you protect foreigners from entering and then you come and blame the government say why is he putting measures in place to stop foreigners from entering and then you later turn around to say they are not Ghanaians. You ask yourself where they come from. Maybe early this year somewhere, one of the members of parliament, one of the most senior MPP members in parliament, near free regional, near free is constituency of free. Watch out, or one of the I'll say it. He came and said, during the registration time, no, these people that they are protecting are not Ghanaians. They are from Togo. But today, another same parliamentarian and somebody from the region is saying, these are not Ghanaians, but they are from Togo who came to cause this havoc in the Volta region. These are orchestrated plans from the NDC to try and make sure Ghanaians will lose affection for the government when it comes to security. But it's not as wise because a lot of people are not buying into it. Because we can see there are secluded issues. There are issues that are coming up, popping up here and there. And then this letter that was a year receipt for a year to carry out a matter a PSC, a NDC for your friend is saying MP. It goes to tell you much plans were my money said they will carry it through, but it will not wash. It will not wash. All over Ghana, the message is beginning to sink in. People are beginning to understand. When you go around, when you come to the urban areas, they are well informed, so you don't even have to say much, even though you have to campaign, yes. But when you go around the rural areas, it's very clear, Ghanaians are beginning to understand the philosophy of the NPP and see, Nana Akufo-Addo, and then the vice president, and then Nabaino. And she said, no, we couldn't get any better. So the only way for the NDC to try and be relevant is to create these secluded issues, these issues that I say your friend is saying come on papa come maybe I'm my you know and here mokesi and not here mokesi because the man will say when they are talking of issues of substance nobody pays attention to them. And you know minimum there I'm not honestly I'm not paying too much attention to these issues because it doesn't really change the narrative for the majority of Ghanaians. Some people, yes, but the majority of Ghanaians, it's not really sinking in for them, say, because of these issues. Because, I mean, governments have come, governments have gone. And if you pay close attention, you realize that during the SDC time, it was worse. It was worse. But I said, it wasn't reported. So, people didn't really see it that much. But when they start paying attention, realize and this time no doors so change is the cost. Is it a good thing? No, nobody will say oh at the papa boy same baby nobody will say that. But you know as far back as 17 something and America for SRTs almost pass a law for people to vote for the right to possess arms. Has it ruined the country? No, it hasn't. It hasn't. So when people are taking steps to protect themselves, I don't think that's a reason or that should form a narrative for the electorate for the electorate to change their mind on who they are going to vote for. In fact, I can't remember so now Obo Mahama asem so kakra. But any them say next week them say director ne the badia. As far as if is an interview and someone care about World Bank, IMF changing the narrative on how to calculate our best surplus and no. But any them say maybe not a winner time I bet the baker is crack out. Yo. As an basic yo.
Yenya Jimo well Frigana Baya na mutene kanwa NPP communicator bako. Mama menko Jimoka about Niema Huno. I mean, and he's right there on point. It's not that it's something new, though we all don't want it to happen. And it's not that they are happening more than they were happening. You know who near see equals 1996 equal 2000. And now me no can say I have for a kuomo I say don't get yankasa no krom hene and the NDC kuno and the NDC DC is a ku DCs. It's not something you should be proud of that it's not happening now, but whether you like it or not, for the war, but we have actually done better. We have kept security cameras in place. Yeah, check it out, say me Minuka say. The dear Sia, we don't have a leader who panic. He takes his time, he put measures in place, and we stop it. And I'm actually very happy about Trans Togoland or Samusi Bibi. Yes, at the election, yes, hey, Togo for home, wait me aba, Mama phone call. Dabi yampene. Moi ablakwa. In fact, the ranking member of foreign affairs. Wana be bien anwa, say, omo be yes, kosie die no ho omutimi attack your security installations no omu free Togo. Just say unim say there are people from Togo who can actually come into the country and do things like that, but yet when they be do voting registration there yenja mo ho and me ye host nti me de be si hanama call Mr. Amayaho Sina Amayaho yo you care about insecurity any near Mahama Keka Faso any near Ofuswan Pofos was starting year Kokubwa him baji di 2 years old born in the party na ekotena se e plan boni erade ni pomuti ya dio party mu kotena se minting mon plan se ade papa we na mo beye na mo plan se mo kidnapping nipa erade fa e born nche ye keka ekono ene ye keka fa insecurity Basso NDC tend to play the lottery card. He say a NPP for NA sa boneno ba emra evidence no right from Kaswa and Kakapeka how Okumsin just got there to inspect, to monitor. Her life was in danger. About time she saved herself. You made it a political problem. And
I mean, I know also no one kakape.
Kakape, then I have 2 lines for you here. Kakape, any of Hamamen come, Mr. Aja Kweku in New York. Aja Kweku ho. Kakape, stop tricking me like that. You nyame kan Kakape me feel an Ukraine. And the Eka kon say NPP NDC grand scheme lay out from national chairman in the meeting planning of going out to kidnap Ghanaians, kill, murder. Not only that, a communicator agreed that yet you continue meeting near Kaya to and the point that a Siame no Kasai or kasa presidential candidate is going around saying election or say one G results into maybe so say why you say almost scheme now or rolling it out step by step and as or more yes answer why you say dear na bet me aye
hello oh me da ichao anyumre ichao tiefo nyina asoma obisa you know and it's okay government will have power and I think within about a month or 2 that time official of a friends a chairman it was possible those days enormously and say you take over first
me patcho close to phone Nakakrawa senior
so wait I'm sorry you take your first no so that
hello sir
hello
the one saying hello can you please hold on who said hello
yeah, it's me. You see, I think you're making a little mistake. Kakape is Ameya. And I'm Amenya. That's what you are seeing, maybe.
Oh, okay, so Mr. Amenya.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. But me on the platform, they call me Mr. G, not Guy G. I'm Mr. G. That's how they know me.
Guy G, man, kasa me boss. Who change Guy G, me boss. You see that, Koso?
I take you over first, you know. And this is for they will make the country ungovernable for Nana Akufo-Addo's government. That was Portuguese style at the time of a Portuguese chairman and Omoka Sassano. Now here the same they haven't changed. But problem I Ghana. Judiciary is a big problem, honestly speaking. You see, near my course Ghana, I mean, to me, we say your complete rule of law in Ghana. I don't think we have it because the rule of law says we are all equal before the law. Nobody is above the law. But Ghana judiciary, obviously, is it here. More Ira case back with me around 3-4 years. Near the case back home. Nye man krofo ka so be nyina na omogusu ye no wo hwe ofuso for tape here okay they started implementing everything. They are rolling out everything, and unfortunately omukọ na say hey the case na 19th friends in November, which is even a little more than a month. In the case back on this case happened, I think it's not even last year, it's about 2 years ago or so. Even if it is last year, it was only part of last year, if I'm right. Now, you better 2 years. And this is a planner, Omakasombe, now Omugusuye. Now, judiciary. We've been a Korea Banchi and cover here within 3 days. And I just a woman, you didn't answer we need Nakotu. We hear Uniska, Unio Kamafo. It is a bonus, BBC, especially political issues, no. I don't know. Senior judiciary no omofanefa because we share asema okujeto abrakwa kan ya man can say a friend saying security agencies they should have called okujeto abrakwa because we can say foreigners and a base idea no meanwhile at the time senior men near cruise border, and these were the very people that were opposed to the government sending security to the border. And this is not to me and Waka say foreigners never here. Then you should call him for evidence. Okay, so we will be unfriend. Anyway, in the better now, a friend saying, well, who quarry whom? It could happen, say yes. Hey, dear, they're foreigners. If it is foreigners, then how did they come across the border when you have security agents over there? So we need to probe some of these issues. But so can say na so ujana. Ununia e woni trim. Ana ununia o ma plane. And a judiciary in Saudi Arabia 10 years ni asem ba kon wi. The essence of a friend is saying committing somebody to jail is to serve as a deterrent to others. There's a big beka bribi. Na say a friend is saying asem yen so kan no abeka na eja no. Ni obi be ye bribi, ni yen so ye no abeye na eja no. E be de na omo atie chirin so omo nya a friend say courage some be bi. Until we reform the judiciary, we will always have some of these problems. And the security agencies, so if you are, and then you are, I know the diagram. They almost say, and yet to say, and no correct. But at least you must follow the lead and see whether it's true or not. Because if your mammy me, your friend says she was surgery. I just a move back, I'm friend, and one so doom the phone, and one, they never heard from you again. So imagine, says a mammy, or my talking if you kuna. And I'll be one Ombaconanka, you couldn't do. Into your security is one in Sembi or a woman said, Yanina and the Bayano, but at least, Okana Yanocras Onka or Samba, investigate and see whether there's truth in it. Look, NDC, security issue, NDC Casa, Omobiti Bonia, we shouldn't take them for a joke. Because NDC, a PNDC near EP nephew. And INDC. And let me tell you something what happened in the 80s. Mobaka, a year them I also know. There was some coup attempt. There was a friend said Togo. No more person on the Olympia Kusiso. I don't know whether some of you were old enough to remember that issue I'm talking about. And this was Ghana and the organizers are there. What they did, they sent some people from Ghana to Togo military. Employ more as shoe shiners and make a cacao. Batman near there. And what those people were doing was they were sending back information to the PNDC. At the time, not Olympians who were Ghana. And the day happened. And lo and behold, because you can operate within that terrain. And unfortunately for them, it failed. And you lost some soldiers. Several soldiers died. And they even kept the bodies until they said, Kufoba, and a Kofigo Kokugo, a Bagana, and I only Kofoba Kai and only lazy bodies. In the same this in the castle, Obedi Bonu and the Kruma. Don't underestimate them. They've even gone as far as beyond our borders. But unfortunately for them, they never succeeded. And security agencies are some very careful. And like Canada, Japan was saying this afternoon. Including one Chinese. So the aim is to make the government unpopular. They are dwelling on security. Meanwhile, at their time, where things even happen than what we are experiencing now. But they have made that their topic because they want the government to become unpopular. But young one say, will be a ex-president. Now, KBDS will chrome. Now, to make offer a friend the international community. A press conference, a show, pictures, you depict as what happened during the Iowa Sugo. Officer Abia or say a friend is saying a binary image, but you are damaging the image of the country as a whole. And this is no mean person than somebody who has been a former president. Which now say, he's only thinking about his political, the power that he wants. He doesn't care if the country burns and he becomes president. In TMDC for the Bible say that is the very nature of the NDC. And also and security is everyone's responsibility. It shouldn't even be the only friends, the security agencies alone. What to bottom na so ubi abesheho now okay and also offer police. But the unfortunate thing so say police for Nankasa so no only a problem. Ofre will be better area that's on yepa who said or suspicious now for a in the long run no man side of identity I'm akayo as some in the yes I complain. Then they put your life at risk. And this is the same thing happening we are experiencing in Ghana. Nimbabia Nigeria for abe higher brosaya or motri. Police for back on no mabechi no majo no major no moko. So back I hona migration for koya na nkomo pese omo omo ye basa no. And that's the same place. No. It say to memu na say a friend is saying lipe bi wa adwenboni say ya. A problem. It's a bit of a problem. Say me dey bia me ka say until say NDC begu no ya nhwe ya enema enko ye o menum. Ye mompaye. Because Nana say the battery is the Lord, and it's true. With God, all things are possible. And Romans 8:31 says, if God is for you, who can be against you? You know, me feel say the current security situation in the anchor, it's not too bad. I make a question. You couldn't a friends in Ghana, Britain the same thing. But you mean some kakase, or you couldn't pentino, ye hena ni omo ye no, omakoswaye. I think the best thing they can do. Say, the judiciary should respond quickly. Take swift actions against anyone who perpetrates such crimes. And if they continue to do that, I think it will lower the crime rate. Will be koye bribia or begging one son or koye. No more ye na say you come JB Dankwe. So it happened what a friend is saying, Mama Tai. But Mama has made this is a campaign but so bad. He will investigate a friend said the killers of that thing happened in your time. And what happened was that the police officer who was responsible, as soon as he took the statement and they realized there was some political interest, he mentioned names that implicate some of them. They took the case, they transferred the police officer to Winneba and then took the case from the CID to BNI so that they can manipulate it. And because according to sources, no Oko Attorney General officer, when we need evidence of a friend say would be prosecuted. Some of I think about 3 years ago or 2 years ago, Omoko break into Attorney General's office area the friend saying documents near the now, computers near the now, so if you don't have evidence, how are you going to prosecute those cases? And you might find one more corner, cover tracks. It is very difficult to trace them. And I'm a prosecution actually. But I hope so with time, no, things may change. Thank you.
Near me senior Kano in United, but I think actually senior says something that with time we have to it may be one of the topics at Radio Amanado bed discuss it. And he's actually said it right. The Attorney General Department, that office is supposed to be a security zone for some group of people to be able to break and go inside there, break into police stations. We have to actually watch those things. But like he said, whether we like it or not, the remnants of the NDC as time goes on, because these were people they trained. All they trained them to do was to cause trouble, and they are still in the system. So one way or the other, jungle warfare and other things about criminal activities, say there or more people. And Muhammad confessed it when he said, hey, the NDC has a revolutionary background, so they are capable of doing anything. I think with God, like he said, if God be for us, who again can be against us? I think Senior couldn't have said it better. But the will of justice once again grants so slowly. I really, I don't pray for anybody's dad to go to prison. But when somebody's dad plan to go out there and kidnap people, I think the best place for him is prison or jail. Director, me pass also. Director.
No.
Me pass Some.
Okay. Yeah, me take me the first one instead. Sometimes, you know, the obi bedina platform be so. And now so general rally be say. Na oka asembia. It takes a lot of effect on the people listening to the person. Intino say NDC e could not platform be so. Na otini insinuate say aban we dey say elections, yeah, more than good. People who don't even think about it will start thinking about it. There are some people who thrive on chaos. Come has a crown. Obi to me, express asking. Obi to me could take that 2, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, a damage Shannon and Yaji. We have people like that in Ghana, but when there is chaos, they are happy. When there is animosity, they are happy. When there is infighting, they are happy. Sometimes, I will also put the blame on wrong journalism. The influx of journalism, any radio stations, all controlled ones, and social media has fueled this issue of chaos in the political arena. Because sometimes, the Obi Shanra, or 2 days ago, there was this video about Dr. Baumia and Wale Gofui Huruno. This was a Nigerian one. A Nigerian issue that had happened there. And will be Photoshop and they own say in the NPP rally, and people were hooting at the vice president. So if we have this kind of cheap politics and cheap propaganda, it's another way of telling people it's okay, you can do it. So sometimes, we as a citizen, we have to frown against some of these things. We have to frown against this unpopular propaganda amount for resorted to. Look, when I'm having a radio show on anywhere, like somewhere like A1 Radio in Bolgatanga, when we go on this show, people come on it and just start insults. What I've come to realize is that NDC had paid lots of voice. I'm talking unit more. The moment I open that platform, the show, the program, the dash one, anything, they are the first people to comment. And they just spew fire. They spit fire. That's the wall. Hold your tongue. Are you going to say something you don't want to say? So what I will advise them to say, if we say we are interested, it is good to have a lot of radio stations so that they can, send the word out wherever. Because gone away the days are all. When I was growing up, I knew GBC alone and Sana Joy from the car home and a Metro the car home. They were like, you can count the number of radio stations. So a lot of things did happen during NDC era. But at that time, PMDC, NDC, at that time, there were not so many radio stations. Until the NPP, people didn't hear about it. Where I see DC, or probably in the law enforcement circles, they knew about it. But today, if you get out of your house and you park your car on the wrong side of the road, before you realize nobody works with social media. So I am of the opinion that there are lots and lots of things that young as the citizen, you better know. Because if you think that you can popularize yourself by just calling any quack a radio station to come and listen to you, and now one for video, I see with him, it goes on air and it catches fire and runs, and everybody is reading it and is trending, and you're happy about it. In the same way, if we can use this medium of communication to unearth these atrocities going on in our political arena, because people are afraid. Because if they go are the ones who are going to report on that issue now, people will come back and it will come back and bite them, so they won't talk about it. But it's about time that you did that. We need the choir. You need to make a talk. Emma, like I'm not saying that people must be stretched, but for the peace of mind that we all need, we have to watch our backs. We need to watch our backs wherever we are. Yesterday, somebody just stepped on my toe and said, this, for instance, accident in Yadiabe, people are being contracted to fidget with people's vehicles. Car, maybe a losing the name or can I say? Because if you look at the northern region, AAC Honoma, accident AAC, mango young ADU. Like the car was so mangled, you wouldn't even know the make of the car. And that car was not an old car. So you ask yourself, say, how bad can that be? Accident to day pa anything see ukrum car in mango. So sometimes when we hear this hearsay or we hear from the grapevine that what people are saying now, the security agencies will have to just wake up and follow the lead, whether it is good or not, whether it is credible or not. Just follow it. Because if we take this like a physical attitude in our security agencies, right now the fact that NDC is propagating and instilling these ideas into people's mind, this youth mind, is getting too far. Some of these guys, they do it on their own mandate. Obiaka, and so they want to be the ones to do it and be popular. Ghana and Yabuchiri, we have, unfortunately, we intermarry. Nipa okubo ni chobe we ase na bo hwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwehwhyehwhyhyhyhyhyhyhyhyhyhyhyhyhyhyhy irrespective of the fact that we are in different political parties, this does not open a door for us to start struggling each other. It doesn't open the door for us to start killing each other. If we have any conscience, this is the time to use it, because it is way not too good. This is the time that we are getting closer to elections, and this is what the opposition party, the biggest opposition party in Ghana, has decided, has resorted to. It's a shame. Now, we are for Ghana, and the opposition party is not from another country, and you're fighting against each other. You are from the same country, and you are struggling for power, and you have to resort to killing people and altering people's vehicles for them to just, go amok and die. What are you going to get? Do you have any morals left? So, sometimes, in the wake of political chaos, people do certain things that they don't even probably, I would say, don't think about it. And now people overdo it because they can tell somebody to go and frighten somebody. Because that is the extreme that they can go. So I will urge everybody, America, when you see something, say something. Forget about it, say you. Forget about it if it's your relative. Forget about it if it's your neighbor. If you see something, say something. Even if you see people having some clandestine meetings, and now, in the middle of the night, you see so many cars parked somewhere. I don't say go and eavesdrop, open their door and let them kill you. But watch. Open your eyes, shine your eyes, Ghanaians, because we are not. This is not Ghana. This kind of things going on. It's not Ghana. It has happened before, but this has been more open because of the influx of radio, the influx of media, the influx of communication and social media has made this possible for us to know that apparently it has gone worse before. We feel that it does, but it's a tip of the iceberg compared to what transpired between 2012 and onwards. It has happened before. But let's not sit down and look at this thing like, okay, this happened before, it's not right. This is not right.
Yo.
But if the opposition decides to do that, people must get up and find another strategy. Because we are the ruling party. The other cannot be a final. we know there's a rule of law, but there are also some laws that will bring everybody to book. If anybody does something of that sort, come has say, they don't know about owning guns. They don't know about crime, and it's still happening. And people are still fighting. They haven't stopped. They still fight every day. They go to Parliament and fight every day until that law has been enacted. Why can't we do so? And then we stop. We leave it down the road and then just go away. It's in the middle has said, we'll be soon to us. That come back again.
Miami Director Josephine Namutin and Kano, and Director says something that I've actually been thinking of. I am the 84 the Duano Nimse Mahama, as His Excellency John Dramana Mahama, as part of his training. The guy was trained in Russia. The guy actually, if you read his CV, I was actually googling for it. Part of his training was trained in Russia before he came to Ghana. So the guy knows what he's doing. And that actually says something about journalism, the private. We all want to be educated. We are the party, the NPP is the party that believes in equal education. I mean, think about it. Our record is clean. So private schools, expansion of schools, we support it. But did one journalism, any presentation, any media houses, I think rules and regulations are sebi. Omiya 1992 year they started, they have to revisit some of them. Journalists miko kasem wanwa nimse near wakano enya no kore. Now I try to forgetting that whatever he is saying could actually generate war. We all know what happened in Uganda. I mean, it was a radio show. We all know it. Somebody can go on Facebook, and that's why sometimes I like some of these Arab countries. You can't put anything out there. NPP as a political party, some of our communication teams have been able to actually go through some of these names and brought them up. They should get up because we love journalism. I mean, our president, His Excellency Akufo-Addo, we all know what he fought for. He believed in equal rights, freedom of speech. But then there should be responsibilities. Journalists, about journalists now. The meeting to go out and kidnap. They were journalists. Director can say some of the media houses say the Ghana is share. Musumuka Hubio. There are no eyes. Enti me ba so. Enti dwehu yie. Se kakra Muhammad de ma wa na o de be ma onu nti. E na o generated this unnecessary tension na jinahu yie. Ye binimu ye started voting since 1992. Ye yan kolamum be ye nim ne ba so eba. And then near Cosne Bubun Crawford crowd, they go to the polling station, they couldn't vote. Killing. Women couldn't roam in Ghana. But all have been solved. And to one presidential candidate want to hold everybody. I mean, his own videos are clear. I am a journalist, ya pamucho. Monkano craning tray. Yankasa Munganation. Say MPP Nenyo, Monkancho say MPP Nenyo. Niamekeka about MPA. Yekekana sensi wasani check. Oko Ghana weba, there's only one story about him. Unless on social media. Why? That is a clear evidence that actually vindicated what Howard Kumsin did. A minister of state has been targeted to be killed. A former minister's name came in. They said, "Oh, atu force Nkrofo na mimegio to hotel." These are not just ordinary people. He was the former minister of finance. We are talking of the current minister of gender. Both cabinet positions. Are we listening to ourselves as a nation? And this man who signed the check, a political party is supporting him. Mrs. A two-bulleter. It doesn't have an eye. Me kona me senior brother Uncle Uncle Kizito Sosia na waba enti etufo kakape mama Uncle Kizito chance na wambubu mansa na me boss. So Uncle Kizito
No, ona makakape. Okay,
kakape. Mr. Amaya, Mr. Kakape.
Senior and Kamajama, but Yanko. A quick one.
Yo.
On sometimes your state institution and nominee in NDC, only for who say your launchy ambulance no one. I don't know how long it took, but they gave us a statistics. Ambulance a year 307 years. They had over 1,000 calls, and out of those calls, opinion, a hoping over 90% are prank calls.
Wow, look.
What they are there? No. And 1,000. They had over a million calls. Oh, where's you are? And over 90% are your prank phone calls. They send you on the wise good tales over Common and I'm sure, sir, fire, any police have had 911 calls over Common no intro. So sometimes, but that is not an excuse for you to respond to a. And Nuntina, the self registration identify. Phone Unipacroni and wine a day, yes, and those things are very important. But also ambulance in the case now tells you, sir, go for be home. I don't want to say, the best say the papa never. Over a million calls, 90% your prank phone calls. What's your at mine? And I like the way one guy be Obika said, security no, and yet way. And yet only for police, any army, any the security agencies. It is the responsibility of every single Ghanaian. Because over 900,000 prank phone calls, no? Over 900,000. Imagine, say, why you prank? Now, actual cases here, could die. And these people don't care. So, you now wonder the category of people that have been put together to just be involved in nation-wrecking agenda. Like I said, what to want? I don't blame them. Because some people don't want Kwasiani to take. Because a Kwasiani tia 77 now grown a good. See, you educated. Now, you question, you ask questions. And then NDC, baby, educated folks who are on, they will lose. So they are always looking for. But come here, they won't do it. So, and court 2016, more of these things are going to be coming. Covert, of some professor, covert and overt operations. Yeah, mungugu na munre. Covert and overt. Suma sepa, sabe be ancho na ye sosidia ni akobo aban subo ni paboni adwin fise. Oye chairman of a major political party. Wa ba muda abedi minister da. Kana agene. Kan your person oye. Enti afutu ono de akoma ye nyina. Enti yemie bie yani elections yi bai wote ho obi ba be faw ono de ba wo Dubai wote kokoma me wote say irrespective of where you gene wodache ho gene wabusia ho hia na nana do danko akufuado NPP de obia bedi yenti no say oso obia nko school no bi what you say nim ne beba be yi dache asa adwin boni wodima abrewa bi ayi video bi ana mehwe video bi ana mehwe o say nana do dankwa wo hwe ne ya wo ye ya adwin pa wo ditirim eya mpanso it is a form for nana to do more. We should not be cowed into any yibia yenka se eye yeman na yenyina be bie yani obi metibi bia anye me hunu bibia anya meyi police fo asotire meka kire mpanyimfo na mpanyimfo atu eho anamon eye saa na de chichiri kuro nye saa enkrofo wenum de ombema fofo adane ye nkwaye opanyini meja amakizitu no nso de ya no fact pa kizito ete wone entiene fire me da se
etie for me ka bibi na me se me debate joka hakakra Ogaglaba Mahama, they said Mahama taught high school history for a few years before pursuing a postgraduate degree in social psychology from the Institute of Social Psychology in Russia, Moscow. Chesenia Meka say Mahama ko school ewa Russia no, and na Makofa ebe tremo no say Mahama wachra diebe wako school. He is one of the Russia trained guys for the NDC that they trained him in Russia and brought him to Ghana. So Papa nisi boot for booter. Just say he knows what he's talking about. It is for moment called Boachi Adam. How much senior Boachi Adam oh? Senior Boachi Adam. Yo, yeah, Uncle Kizito already. I'm in Sambo.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, me Pacho. Boachi Adam.
Sorry, I'm not internet.
Oh, yo, senior Yakikaba, Yen Mamu NDC. I'm start okay, and almost started. As Antiphone you come for born is crumble there, I also can be. Me train a potholes room, but almost starting a check planning kidnapping. What pains me is that Assembly of God, me could be as I call Catholic Church. The man is an elder in the church. A riding for a burning chair. Omo community, they were planning kidnapping, killings. Almost a Pentecost, so Mike is a Pentecost, Mama Famba Shomo. They were planning how to kidnap, kill, and they be Koso.
Last week, him said that week money. They were kind. Now me can't assembly now. Will be a beginner. I say, oh, what they saying? Now me bought soft be Edney. Am I any beginner? I say, oh, one o'clock. What they say? Where come for? Ugu and son. Me bufu was half a man home. Pa, me bufu, papa. So, the wishing on my Ghana. They can't plane. They can't ignore so said before. And Cramonamity, you know, when they call school, you know, when na the time I call Masano. A mamma and Cramofo. When him drama the Edra and he said, let Morgan and a guy be a friend Sully. No one is here, Cramonisa, and was Sasha obey as a Christian. Into Omukanyam them all the time. According to Omu preaching, no, Omu preaching, no. Ya nanka mofo ni be free. Na nkwase dem ho. Omo ba na sika ahye omo. Omo etire mu se kwan sa Morgan na Sule na omo nkeka ho no. That time na kosi awia no nyina, kosi awia owo so ene. Se omo no omo ebeko. Sika ahye so omo ho. Enti ama mi dwanka mofo pa. But me nyini kwa animu me nyini kwa animu amani efi kakra no. Ama me hu se sabi enipa bia enipa. Wontimi ansem na wontimi emu obi nso so atan. But nei mani afi ama me hu se yenu anu ma Kristofo ameka ho bia wo meto Roman emu. Ghana ye how pa do pa ye Christopher no ye how pa ye problem pa bone e ko hi ba nyina sabi nyinsen yigu hwan ni nyina ye Christopher ndi sa ma be penka mo fu asem pa e po ma sama nkasa man kana mboa am jala yiso Ghana asai bebe nyina ye Christopher. And in case will be can conform some no one across condemn conform. Yana nemi drankasa. Bonin comra a moja can go why Nina ye Christopher. Yan ye. Yes. Yan ye. Mitipa and so far, Sabi, or Moko school ya. Sagana, a human in who said Bren or Mumpo. Obiano Bemano Hoswa. What me ya suffer? Bosumi sia afe. Why a prophet? Me nim ni pa wo mo de sa post no e ma wo mo. sabi previous na wokɔ nanim wo panty e show kra na obɛka ne color kyerɛw wo panty e show obɛka ne color kyerɛw
senior na wa bone toto about security issue no wa senior
wo say
na wa bone toto security issue no
ayo mate me babisi me kasia asem so intra to aho ofeso ampofo asem a wo kan yes why edo ana me boa
sa na yekeka
yes why eda na ma hafrim na tentena bepem sa mai yes why eda wo Pentecost from pain font bi mi o ma no enka bibia fa na eda na wo ye no ho se o mu beyi na mo so on be den o nti bibia already so eda na so to modi akonya NDC efri enfidodo a sabe efri min kola bluma mani fi ya me hu ye from Rollins PNDC ebe pim samri sabe mo ba titire Ghana yi a enko mo titire mi ye dada amaye to odi akonya 8 years mu fi so 4 years mpo MI hwe de mo ye no oman Ghana mu hwe de mo ye oman Ghana mu posunti wukum obi na waje power posunti woka kire hia ni bi asabe wono so wan ko school na brabo enya what speech mu ko bona pa te onkokum obi sabe enipa moja na wo kan agu no na wo be di MP ni say 50 years e wo parliament wana Yane evils enete. Yane evils paneti omai Ghana emu. Chedia mama oye. Simse woni president ni bikrado. Simse woni bi dakra. Papa no woni timo. Na ni na ode hwe nipa sa no. Woni tema ema nipa bi biara o Ghana sa so. Te ni papa ya wono bosome nkron, o maame ya wono bosome nkron a. Oye Ghana ni pa de woni ti mama obi bia mama woni ti mama obi bia uko sisa Nigeria fo foreigners se omumegu Ghana no omunya tutrasem enkum Ghana ma na waba power wasi sa ma ko Dubai because say no nanado emma enkramofo na sabe omunya tutrasem no wo ma omani ati sei enti no wonim se dru de edna enya de so mo beti agum enti woni ofosu ampofo medical plan ko sisa foreigners se omumra because I believe 100% so fra enkramofo no wo mugu nzongo ne ade so omumra eme fight nkoma no for the power I believe fast will be anko enti o ma hu nyansa akofa foreigners abebi o man Ghana mu a mu training o mo so mo mekum Ghana ma ne take over na sisa Ghana iska nyina afa kugu Dubai na woda o yire na mo bra ene mo sisan e wo ho no na bibia e wo nyamensem mama bibia wo nyamensem NDC fo mpanyifo nyina wo mo nyina anya ni papa de Canada bia wo ne NDC hia na ne kasa wone ne ye agreement no afa wutirimuka mi obi o ma bia meti mi yonko pa ba 1 year ni kra no me nkasa na ho omusu mi party wunya do ano boss ka se oh me ko NDC na wunya wura mu pe minim adokra wo mo de te party no enti so man free Ghana o man free system no pa ya sumdue problem am I wo man Ghana
yo
NDC for o man free man ya sumdue problem
yo
na me say nyame de bibia anso ne ye because nyame ne bo ni panti sa uguta adwen bone sa obehye wo man Ghana se dia nyame e ma okwan sa
ene
because yin sa oboso men kron se de yin sa me so me boso men kron
sa pepepe
na me say securities no sabe ono man nye adwuma ye kire obi a mon punish ni pa no mon ka sa waye MP waye hwan so nipa wo ko sana check ya chi san kofo yi mine de nti mama ni base won kwa na mama ni scot free so won ko Osamo Campona, because say, Mubehu assembly end, and Sakra number Jana Pramojana. Ghana, security is not very slow. Very slow. Any pan is say what the man answer, what in fear did he? So, as my can know, two say, Sabi, American high one. The Kuman will be quiet hard any a chinny pana. Bulls and Quebecana's uncle. You know, Kumahamibusa. See a Bejan's uncle, what train and was a mumpo. Near courses are weapon, a free sanko for honor. Yeah, who's a check in any passmates in the amam. Your Bejan's uncle, Ubedama, because it's a very handsome Navy, and Sunny a jar was a cock. As to Ghana, them, you can say. So, you, Yamina, and a baby and home yeah, that's it. Yo, it's for Mamma for your calling lines, no, I Radio Amanada, Denver, Colorado, the Rocky Mountains. I'm going to open the lines right now. The calling line is 720-713-1784. Again, number out to be free. Our hammer, you know, train come over, doing trade be now question be your person baby son. Nay, yeah, panelists, and your mom friends, and no, explain more. Number near 720-713-1784. Open Facebook and so now I call Mike Amanado Facebook. Uko Mike Amanado and so I'll be here. Uko YouTube and so Amanado Fire for Fire. So yo Minia Emmanuel Darko will say hi Victor and team. Emmanuel Darko yes so ye chiao ye jichiano kaho. It is for number again yet 720-713-1784. Me call na me call. Say my uncle Kizito ye radio na me kon ho me free ni ho na me call Daniel me free Daniel na me kon na Nasrebo me pa uncle Kizito ho ana me komra no le be me ho yo ene uncle yankwe yo mada se Victor wa me nche na me nche for na ni na yo kasa sisi ai ekoi na sema odika to na ye sa ai Aguna East, Aguna West, MP ni issue no. Ni pano. Ene o neko police station. Wa thrown caution statement.
Okay. Yeah, Kizito is clearing the air. The MP that wrote the checks, no. Kizito is telling us that Omodeniko police station actually he's written his statement. So
yeah, that is caution statement.
Caution statement.
Very serious.
Okay.
You can't run away. You want to submit your passport.
Okay.
And also, copy I won't know. Because you don't know what is coming next.
Who is that?
Now, I have a security matters in Yenina. One would be trouble thing because we're investigation. Because the police upon the team upon the hotel no new. This is only the police cells straight ahead. Inti investigative inti na 1 year wo boys no nyina wo kan ansana ono sa aspirant no ote. Inti there's no way so be can send the influence boys no. Inti to me canto check no na ye kodi wo munsam no. The case no almost start here was it 28 and at MC 28 say 30th. And one be san court. Okwa ye nyina ibehu na ebesi. Because enemy bi ho no a NPP for ye di o anya fie ye gentle na moto na kobolo fi che eni awon mo ye che boy we hwe na mi mo di kwa ye MP we che na mi na di kwa ye MP it's Ghana no your problem but Victor who say if you sample
you senior
what to obi boy ni to asanwase na wo mo ko so mo ko settle issue no who said the second shooting by who said the sample ko dey say nka say wo mo gina ho
oh yeah talking of near CA or Kumasi wo mo dwane no yeah
wo mo dwane ye etu wo ma no wo mo dika hey say ese gun ka say no ko to ko gina crowd mo na tuo bo wo nyina ho da I'm telling you
yeah videos
Now, what to my local kind of town, what be shabby. I'm telling you.
Of a Minchoano, really, Kafra Minchoano. I see you get your call after Wasi, NDC for gathering beer. A 2-year organizer being independent union. Who say a crime of us to Johnny Frio?
I don't know what kind of.
In terms of Nimpabu, a shop of Nimpabu about Kukra, organizer being a fan of the command. It's Mamma, because Uncle, we won't near what you want to go outside and one causes Uncle for the bar. Long a time ago, from the revolution terminal, one causes outsiders, no one, but no mission soldier direct. One would think on in a no more journey. Yamin Chadi and Anado after Wabe president. It's woman who be a woman comfort, and men na yekasi sa. Then I thought you saw what market Toby and NPP from penny Phobi and Accra, a Toby fit turkey, and one Daba and a Habo, woman Sisi Toro, a cost of first.
Kizito, Mamma, all car about 2 season, the Mamma so. I said, don't cut here. Sebi. When you're the packet transfer, Papa, it's me now on air, say, you are not a security man. You don't have any security background. A catcher said, 2 best 4,000 a year. Emra military some because a police and some because of Mutuaira. Don't you think, no crime, Minisabia, and the laws don't say that, but no come here, just say to me, business, I won't go in some way, ready, baby, more, Anna.
Victor, don't mind this foolish boy. I see a look at ya. This stupid guy.
Whoa, Sinekizito, calm down. Those was me pacho.
Me see. I see look at you. You from his beginning. Walk off and it is by. We know him. And you said look at you. Don't will be our Ghana. And brother, no one would do two. A man call for. A quart a try. A quick training. You know. I said look at the other kind. Sako pon ko training one e tuna what ma wona boys won no adwuma wo mu di gane ye e tuna wo himfa o ye kwasia pa
senior me pacho my amfa kofon kakra
mi so se du ka chani
mini be aha ye senior Kizito me ba senior me ba
this stupid guy
senior Kizito me pacho insults na dia enam say aha ye radio amanado nti me pacho slow down o kakra ma me pacho me pacho
on your radio so no ko tena na o kasa answer funu ho no e se du kacha entokwa ba e se du kacha obegina himfa ono de why na din say so be kan tokwa Ghana no be tana ye no ho Canada there e no boa ono so ba be share tokwa ha Canada ha ono ko so tokwa na o sa na ire ne ma be gu Worcester no 1 year sa Kofi Adams mu nyina wo mbagu ha we know them. Ya mamu kan tokwa na mu wie na mu de mu passport in Ghana na mu mbawo na mu me free wa ha. It is why one dey say that be free there but there you free. Aba ye koto aba no kwa ye nti ase enkoto aba no. Wo si wo nso a wo mpene. What a stupid statement. O no bi na kwai onu sisi ni ya no kwa no. Onu say okay or the court rule. Anya ni de but wadi atum usora bi over full platform ukaka ensembia if you yemu keke mother mama yen sorry o and this woman yem mema nti obia
yo
woman yem bin na ya ukofa ho de ba no some boys here wo makofa we started training in 2013 and we started training one ebi ko Cuba ebi ko Libya ebi ko Afghanistan ebi ko Egypt and we ko training boys you know we know most of them them also why they so best striker this time no it is a Ghana for the year here important the dia wuti bia no mo so ho bia metna ho the best asante hin na no tunfo se wudi bia beba no na besi Kumase wudi bia beba na besi Kumase ye be se nana oni na hemfo nkasa be bia ye be che okonfo bia wo patam Kumase no won kanasu because Kumase ya gidin bone dodo ye che memu na se du katia etumi ko gyina Dr. Bossman nim no di na atem who is a sedun katia no di Dr. Bossman atem no ko no Dr. Bossman sia hu ma ko du sedun katia obetumi asia ko du o enya NBC na mo church mo professors ni church certificates mama anka sedun katia mo be no akwa ko du ba bia wadu no afede mama na afunu ye won fa mra won fa ntokwa no mra
won fa ntokwa no mra
ka 696 me to me ko voter region because abato no be do wa no wo mako sisa soldier anta no mo dia show full soldiers no mako dinigina ekwa no ho untu ye NPP no kwa you can enter onu no oba be ka say ye ko training ko 4000 anya seman ka me borrow Canada Japan West ni bi
me pacho embombe na de kita bomb ne sa me pacho kita bomb
no this sound for man too much this sound for man too much and the revolution na mo ka na ye revolution wo ye mo nkwa na mo Ghana revolution na ba na mo nkwa na mo Ghana when you know man see culture we say do ka tia wo hotel or South Africa wo ube jira ho ba kan sem food ya chere Ghana for sa yen transio 2008 na ka chi semne empanyin se o yempe ye ho asem na wo be override yen this time it's not going to happen that way time na enso yo me say ye ko November na fe time na so won famra won so wo nyima o Ghana aso munuma gura want to me revive no it was famra this ma na wo ka bi say who san popo aso no okonu wo mun to me nkasa nkyere Pentecost for to me nkasa nkyere no na jo ma na ka say no ye leader no onko Assemblies of God e dey na Assemblies of God for to me aka kyere no
Mike Udie
mosumo ka na Assemblies of God for to me ka kyere no
yo miami senior Kizito na Martin Nkano etefo la number no aye de betu gya no sabi mesade number no betu gya me 720-713-1784 ahaya radio Amanado ayewa Denver Colorado asa meko me senior Daniel
Anasribo radio Anasribo my radio
Nanasribo where
my ready.
Nanasribo sorry. Asa meko Daniel Maryland. Uncle Kizito.
No.
Yo, Uncle Kizito near can me say me chrome your friend some insect with dang and pose. Just one of the back cow no full so that you won't feel the pain. From the word being, who said NDC is a prepared ground for violence. It actually it took our president how his able leadership with his team. They've actually been able to suppress this thing right from the word go. Omo the EC court to understand. So omo the court na kasa court.
And they say a plan work.
Exactly. And
delay system no keke.
Yeah, and no because the battle is still the Lord. Mrs. Bikoka and Okaka battery. But enya na eka. And in the say omo grand plan na yam say eradicate papa at every one point in time ye chuomo. Ye chuomo in the way that right now MP moi no why a PC parliamentary candidate watch chalk a check Mr. Chalk mon chalk you need chalk
10,000
at the man Crawford the Am Campaign Hotel Asemo
that Sackers in the baby in the package we go no so no St. Morrison who baby as bedu obi any obetimi asay asem I'm telling you because you are You want to can you a special branch upon a number?
Yo. I don't give you
the voice of Susanna Lassan.
Yes.
Not a council of state member or NDC. Not the PNDC FRC. Okay, if you don't have time for nonsense, nonsense will never cease. This is the time. I say NPP for borrow that words, no. We have to get time for this NDC nonsense. Not a easy.
Yo. Moment come. Yo. Nana Sribo.
Yeah. Oh, I'm ready. I'm more than ready.
Nana me patch of fire.
How much charge you know? Yeah.
How much charge you know? How much charge you know?
Oh, he has been charged.
Yes.
Abatement of crime. He has been charged.
Abatement of crime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nana Sribo me patch of fire my uncle.
Inia unim bibi.
Radio. Me patch my phone no call no kakra na kasa increase your volume Nana.
Answer na me call asem so me tiebusiafo a all line say me ready na. Na makoso abo. NPP for mpanimfo nkai say mpanimfo say the wapoto amana fino ntiri so odi bom. My Caminado odi na fidie di dwumaso e wa brutimemu ha kuro nyina ne Europe nyina so de boa NPP. Me NPP mpanimfo akadie bia etwa se omo de boa Caminado radio e mani timi ko ewiase afra na nyina no omo da Roma omo famoa no timi ko nanu na Kevin Taylor kwasia we at New York ha NBC force no almost sponsor no and we didn't say foka atrocem ni akohwesem ensamanya no kra na Kevin Taylor te New York or sorry our Kegu NPP force nti omo meso Caminado radio yenim so mu ye bidie nanso so aboso ba ne meja ye epai ofa me come asem so no eto da bia ensem a sisie nyina ne yesi bodam ni be bodam a odi frisie no odi epia bonse me de ko fi nyina me ni edu tem bia na me bremu yen yan ka se ye NPP fo no bisamsa de ntia akratisem no yamna ye too much e wa NPP mu tanye NDC fo play dirty games no e wo politics mo no NPP de no ya yamna ye gentle akratisem na ye too much Nenka get starting free a whole of this year. Time we go with the MP more. What mean the double account? I did double salaries for 3 years. Offer. Sabino me no ordinary Ghanaian person here. Koye sadi I'm just American. No be go to appointed. Obi kocho bi board here keke. Mati it me ko 5 years. And I know na me tie boy di osijama. Oh, Froka na umo paye we umudro no so account do no kuni masem no hwe young boy na damro so 17 years as I say 18 years omde no kotum 30 years na no tie by no kana say look at it he can no so more can nom here just 50 Ghana cedi 500,000 cano akodem 30 years about na MP mu a etimi at the double salary ya turnover evidence or na me compensation business bema asem we who on a year man ofuso ampofu what do you call it fast track court here omuti ye NDC ni omden koto an ye friend example be matiminka
metu kapa
NDC ni ye kote fast track court ye den koto an ye friend say Matiamidu ne kumbes na se Matiamidu committee nom tien en fa so be pa nenti ye nya no so me bisa Ghana fo if you say Matiami Dubai she corruption ahodo a ye hu no politics she corruption ahodo e hu no man ni mu she nipa do a edi o man ni sika wotimi fa nipa ba ko pekra engeli no esunke ordinary Ghanaian ne koye ya of Africa onwo wi ada iti media to da bia de ekosu ni nyina wo de ehwe ofuso apofo nsem o kika yi a tape ba abonten eyonoa seka ordinary Ghanaian citizen ne koka asem we group tape ne pie ya ofa Mr. America say ni panu so hu na wi a esu de sankofo we nyina to wo didi eno mo yire no mo me pie enjoy na de bia me ka se Ghana mbara no eti enketoa na entri akese tenanado etna ho
Emma the NDC for ye Koswa, me blame another government, maybe because we say government of the nation who could have defense minister, who could have police service, who could have all the services, our commander in chief, who commander Neko. What near to know is she harm and neck 5 minutes. I got just 2 months near by elections. So she is the mooning Quasiasemua, echoes or mining. A brate to Abba, a bontia, you evidence say, if you pass machine some more working, Matram and some more Kayano. Nadia Bakwe Mario, who say, and this is wrong. A dear omonopes or moyen, no medical abontia because the NPP for one person. No, master pay, Yaka say, oh, wouldn't not be a Ashanti region, a BB Ashanti region, Ashanti, then only be a BB of the coast Ashanti region. Wouldn't matter, could ye?
Dabio.
NDC for me at Nasia Panania who said the whole Ghana Ashanti region, the year NPP for stronghold. It is say, oh, maybe Pia see Ashanti region who say Ashanti Fona, normally Basabasa Eba. Neka hwede ekoso Togo land way. Hwede ekoso esoso e pa se tuoche obi akwe no mo abo apa de Ashanti region be bata ho. Because of say omo hu say the whole Ghana no Ashanti region no na ye NPP was pro gold to say ye target region no near my bad image e region na manfo I disappointed about the region. NPP for a criticism adults no more money now. Ya brain casatin no. San ye tana kukwasa she former president John Edikum Kofo time. Master dia na Kofo anya magana. Ye tana hwa NDC for the brother ne kuto mrani na atabel. Free no beji akunya ni free Kofo onsem. Ye san ye mani ma bi se yawo. Ofa. Asi we you pretend who I have appointed Tokwa. You pretend the slow near Johnny from Boko. The full front is a mama. Offer. Yanni a can you be bizarre? Politician baby, it's near Jailino. Tell me, would you tell me Papaco? Say we, have you waiting or quiet or mine with your friend, your Jailino?
Abuga Pele was jail. Abuga Pele was an MP. He's in jail and
finding the percentage.
Oh, percentage wise, the mean to me, I agree. So, some member back on I may go back.
Okay, fine, Matuasi, with us from Mbako, Abuga pay them. But final percentage, the ordinary citizens are. It could be quite a bonny wedding who hear punishments. Keke. Thank you, because one proper a quan's idea, Bosumi, and Afri in Fibian. One pra police and association also. And so. Francophone, the Oma Kotuma, and the prisons are a choke. Politicians don't know them. Somebody may catch them another. Oh, sorry. One sorry. Now, only the Yanama say, be a NDC for target another say, if you are where you to trust them, where to trust them, and now I through number one of the any okay can no more say where to trust them. The Nipa Ghana Hono, who be a no Ghana Mrano, and Branitua, and Brano, a two. Midika Catherine will say, I deal with Bika a better 3 months a job. Say, according to reliable sources, and this is what Plan say. Almost completely NPP said to their Momo boys, nobody has said Edding Quasiasem, Necobase, ye Kuhukoka, yes, bra. A Cobasi Kuhukoka, the Hokase, NPP 4 boys, none nature more years, nay, Omuye, Ujang, Omuyam Pontin or Makofa Ujang. And Womadia Katomo, Omi NDC for our Copa NPP entirely the asset. It's media, Manado more on Shako Mani Timpo. Anibia, Yeka, John Tamani Mahama to one, a big relation on one Mafo, the Master 10 20, no man to Abanibia, and cannot. Obama the men in free country name. Especially look at Yatu. The couple 1 month of year to about no can be put together on near the men in Canada and on what again on Woodins and full. So, and I say, do say day na year to a banner, so more baby special, because you almost vote on a papa in here, I don't want to pay the acote. It's a difficult issue that I crowd and It's media. Danado, Nadaroma, almost sorry, on there, commander in chief for Ukuta soldier for, Ukuta police for, Ukuta all the services, and now ordinary, Mikami can ordinary, a trauma opposition, won't you maybe, and from Waba anymore. Because I deal for swap of can on the tape, and not as I say no. And some more kind in I started dropping one by one. They think of this and no case and I'm something we good tapes in the P and think about that who demanded some of them. It mean another Yokosina and Mibrimu NPP for Lady. Mibrimu or Mubi. It is a senior in our door and this one. Your money is in castle, name will be 2 as here. Do you see? In your next door when year, ye 2 as in castle. It was far. May the master be here. Na Obi Abba Abekembi. You see, I dear many bring kasi pa you say. And you more my planning before 7 December and I said 9 December. No. MP for sorry nominate hard work.
Yo.
Let's say MP with me ko sign check. At the engaging crowd as one Kotna hotel me basabasa there. And you almost started Emma patrols and starting for hotel to hotel.
Yo.
Oh, all regional capital. Medasi, Minia, Medibisia Mubiswa baby.
Yo, yeah, senior. I feel Nana Srebo Nawakasano or was say NPP. Mo Bojuma. Ghana for Yana Jatim say Mo Bojuma. Free education. Obiani planting for food. Zip line. Was in near Moyano. It's not somebody to tell somebody in Crofoni, but say NDC. Our revolutionary roots no almost system no and almost a junior team no they don't think far and to say amampanyina his excellency Nana Akufo-Addo one sorry sa ordinance former the good work all he is doing and sure sebi omo plan for all the years no 4 years bro. They are implementing it step by step. And to Juma Papa na no. If we cannot curtail this and actually nap it, just said they will end up telling society that na Juma Papa mo no security nye good obey they enjoy. But adieba kwa me director so be kai say nye si enye say ya de fufro. It's just that now we have a better means of exposing it. And so a better means of exposing it, yes, straight journalists for no more expose the truth, nothing but the truth. And Kofania wadrin yo, ebeso so na wa ma yi no koyede. Enya ne de na no kre, manokre no enya no kre. Mame ko miame bra Daniela or Maryland. Me pa Daniela no. Senior Daniel Mepacho, yeah, kika about your security who has and going to elections. For the very first time, this people, you see, certain criminals, and I will call them criminals, in certain political parties have emboldened themselves, and I'll say in the NDC. And I will actually justify that with 2 things. They had a meeting. In the meeting, they were deciding how to kidnap the national chairman. Was rolling out. He actually rolled out his plan of how to make Ghana ungovernable by kidnapping people. Moving forward, a parliamentary candidate of the same NDC has actually issued a check. Camp people, he said he's never seen them in a hotel with one aim. To kill a sitting minister. Are we treating them with some rubber gloves?
Victor, thank you for question. I think, sir, security issue now. 2 people, sir.
Let me, Pacho, go closer to your phone a little bit. Why?
All right, what's the time?
Yeah.
I think it's a security issue. My country Ghana for the sir. They shouldn't. So you cannot stop a person could be born from going to so.
Dan, you are so far from me. Dan, go closer to your phone.
Are you okay?
Okay, so there.
Yeah, me say security issues, you know. So there will be a way now you so be born, you know. So when me am preventing her, obetime could be born, and also in that Ghana, me so would be born now. I can assure you, sir, we'll fish you out. But the problem in here, sir, the person will be born in here for fish you out because it doesn't help anybody that way, right? You know, Nanka, answer a baby born, you know, you're very proactively have stopped you from born out beginning. And I think, sir, that is the approach I buying also we're using so far. Ope kaya oposan for tape no na nkofo bi plan bond so mo akọ ebone aban no antwa ama saade no on materialize immediately na or the asem no ekoto court so the be asan nkofo no mo loop mu nyina no mo am so be sa bone no or mo very top source ananka ebe mo sa encouragement no aban no e de asem ni na court nti esa na aban no elevate asem no the very top. And no, it's a very good way of government paying whoever is part of the agenda. Obey Sadiano. Say, okay, now the big architecture, Nipan and Kudimo, Mahuni, to the Nakudina. Remember, you have to now we say, as some say there's Linkin and Makudina court. And yes, I said you may tiny panic economic Nakudina court. And at the time, all for some court, people didn't understand, hey, politics, but hey, President, you know, who said, "Oh, not security briefings all the time, every time, all day." It's because you don't have the full information that they have. They've mapped up and they've seen that this is the tactics. In Tomoya, who said, "We didn't materialize in the immediate term, and it's still in court, and they are still dealing with that." So on that front, you know, the political opponent, the other plan they have to go over some government has been proactive to stop that. Now, you know, and I'm just saying, there be no now Makasa ring no one on the Bonia, you won't get sniped of that coming up. But government already knows about all these other, loose end and also people connected to it. Papa, yeah, I'm watching the PC parliamentary candidate. Now, Semino, a more young kakra because check them, meetings about to check now, who check it about 5,000 Ghana, right? I think I saw one that asked about 5,000.
No, there were two checks at 5,000 each.
5,000 each. And you know the guy will owns the evidence. Evidence. You have to connect all the pieces together, right? The guy will have to prove. Say, Jumaban and conform the year man now. No, 5,000. And you know they will follow up and go and see the work, or design the kind of work and conform the year. Then conform. So we are professionals, and now we are artisans. Who 5,000 so it will be honest maybe dancers from where artisan. Into the state has a lot of information about and they know the kind of job they do, the DNI that's our background work in in terms of original court now mind yes answer into police one about that was a really intelligent way of connecting the dots and then tracing it to whoever did that. Into MP will have to show cost let's say 5,000
where you candidate.
Right, that parliamentary candidate, one investor in the Ghana, so it will be 5,000 Ghana. Now, it's a Jumana Nipanayama, in the context of Ghana. So, it's $800. To pay somebody $800, meaning that the person might have done a substantial job for him to warrant that kind of payment, right? Police want to correction, so no, Jumana and Control more, it doesn't look like. Legal. It appears that you were aiding them to go and commit a crime because it is only a crime that would incentivize people with that amount of money. Other than that, we don't see any link. I just said you might maybe some more. I saw 5,000. And no one will expose this PC and then PC no the phone calls need they can ask the court to trace all that and see where the linkages are. Even if it's a bigger network, I can assure you, sir, government is going to crack down quickly, and that is a good thing. Whenever you arrest a suspect, you're able to get all the other people that are connected to him, and then trace them that way. Into Ghana, for no one come to me, the uncle for us, so the who are fine, and you 200 more. Now, a be no more dear, or more fear, no piece of my phone, where they want to or my NPM block so and then the Omedi, but we still face them out. They are touching on the field, and we will deal with them accordingly. Victor, you are quite election makers will be under no hustle. Will be very careful because no amount of orchestrated armed robbery and creating a sense of insecurity would change the choice of the voter come December 7th. The voter would vote regardless of whatever. Who be able to get in India, who be able to go to Naban or to the French. It is Obia and I just saw no security. And they don't know. So the Ghana new people, they need all in France, near who want to answer that promo. In Abutraman, so the Ghana in Jimmy. Now, the Jimmy about 1 year, ever buffing. Now, Victor made a man who's not make the good thing is that Mampehina Kupado only a neighbor, they are very good relationship. Oko Ivory Coast, very good relationship. Oko Burkina Faso, very good relationship. Oko Togo, very good relationship. So you when we now talk French, Mampehina sort of French, if you know, or people not try Mampehina, you know, saying for body be airplane, be somebody or Ghana, no more Kasa. So Victor, I can assure you that this president will really work and provide intelligence if the thing is being orchestrated from the soil of these other countries, Amaboboy, and therefore bad security there. I think Akufo is in a good place. But Victor, do you think PC way? What was the motivation at this point allegedly? The motivation is the same constituency.
Dan, I'm not getting Dan. Come on again. What did you just say?
Man, this parliamentary NDC parliamentary candidate normally linking it to say checks in Nkofo and Komgako Diboni. In the same constituency.
Yes, Dan. If you follow near Ekoswa, Yenina social media, when they first saw the checks and intelligence, he didn't know that they had some evidence linking him. So initially, was say one of the one more, but omuye ato force and uncrow no, and omu betchum na wono waji hotel the maom. So that was in Omoko Chesebia, Omoko ato force and ho bibio, and he wanted to just play the card that he only held.
We're a lawyer's coach. A lawyer's coach.
Mama may answer that, send me so that down. So that was actually what, but he didn't know that they actually had those checks. So said later on, more checks in this PA online, and he couldn't deny. We all know what the checkbook looked like. So he actually admitted that those checks were his.
And he gave it to them.
Yeah, so once the checks were found and then he admitted he signed.
Or deny from the onset to deny.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm saying so he's now admitted that he actually gave them the check, but as to what he gave them for, damn, so 10,000 checks near me, 5,500 and I can work trying to caution statement Otto say. Yeah, none of them has gotten the statement, but that's the meaning so far.
Yeah,
and I think Dan, there's already a court date for him to appear in court too. I think.
Yes, and then this idea whereby it's a very good. You just need one good example. You don't need many examples. You just need one good example.
Exactly.
One very good example to prove that. As someone now opposition for kind. Now we are seeing linkages, which meant the government was right from the very beginning when they knew and this also comes to the point about Ayawaso Wagon.
Yeah.
Abayan was very quick to quite hard enough. So the NDC for the trap PR did more, as he said they were innocent about what was going to happen there. I told them I could follow the Sabi. Nana why old man 70 something into the Ghana Nema why can't Kakra. I could follow my name no Castle or yes, no man woman saw. Send a near name no one brand to Brumuna. I'm afraid people will think say yeah, Papa day. People will not be able to live in Ghana because it will be so brutal there. People will finally, forget about Mapo now and they'll start talking about papa no say wicked or say anything I want calm no, but that doesn't mean just anybody can do anything and get away with it. Amrano will catch you, and I think the security agency they've been very proactive. They know where the issues are, and they are following up. All our security agency needs motivation. Motivation so they are more power, more career, or musican come their mom or the same cars. Their mom will be there somebody of Juma. The security is motivated, and Victor so only make catch you. So IGP way. So what share this IGP? Its level of execution is way better than the one we knew before, and even before. I don't know so much here. Papa is very proactive in the communication to the public. It's on point, and he's always doing the right thing that puts the police in the good place. And I think, sir, nobody doubts the competence of the Kevin IGP. And I think, sir, he's brought some professionalism and some seriousness to the work of the police, which is very commendable. And Washa, police force, they have been very disciplined. He has been, dismissing police personnel where he has to and promoting others where he has to. Intimidity said, Bukan say IGP Ben or whatever the name is, he's on top of his game and he's dealing with the issues appropriately. December 7th, there will be nothing. Obipa on trial and Obeku say yes. Ghana near one. This is the Akufo. The way you go, way Akufo. George, Mr. George, Victor, what kind? Hey,
what about me doing guys? Are they?
Victor, what kind thing? Another time.
Hey, just Victor, you really concerned.
Victor, what kind thing another time? Almost anything, 10 another time. I feeling that you're cool. Yeah, call round up. What kind?
Time.
What kind? I didn't see your honeymoon.
Kai make a cry.
The AC or honeymoon no big can mean say to ZAATO sir. Call round off no. Then this work of far. Ghana soldier and tired the shell for pretend say
yes.
They were Ghana military people that were supporting or designing a regime change.
Yep.
Akufo-Addo is very much aware about Saudi Omodi in 2008. You think that Akufo-Addo is stupid? Omodi here now they got away with it because of Akufo-Addo. You think that this time around they'll get away with it and Akufo-Addo that thing would never happen and Akufo-Addo. Obipa already almost said take military attack on election day, not on the Nam Ghana. No sure what will happen. No sure say we will never allow it to happen again until we're on top of our game. And if they want to use other means, we should be we've already got all the dots and the connection, and we are tracking each and every bit of their movement. Victor, many
Dana or Maryland, where NPP communicate and Martin and Can, but near Dana can make a crab also. You see, and I'm a deacon car, the wheels of justice, they ground very slow. But that can be mostly because per quick action, we don't really see those things. But near Dan car, it's a fact. Number one, a meeting the NDC for COI. After meeting no day, somebody was arrested. Some people have been charged. That is how the security operates. But omuko tie meeting no, they will listen to the tape, they will analyze it, and other things that will be attributed to the tape. No, they will have to make sure they quench them. They can come out to tell us. The same way, a parliamentary candidate planning to kill a minister. They've been able to track those people to a hotel. They arrested them with weapons. Not only that, they have clear evidence of at least a form of payment exchanging hands. Ninyana intelligent network. And so I agree with Dan that my security agencies we should thank them for something good done. Because it has to take intelligence to be able to get the tape, because it was an NDC event. It has to take intelligent officers to analyze the tape. It has to take intelligence to even trace these guys, these 4 guys, from where were they going and arrested them. And link those evidence together. It has to take intelligence. The whole IGP has to move to the central region to actually brief His Royal Highness Otunfo about how this thing went down, they were able to arrest 5 people who did this stupid thing, this ungodly thing by killing a very, very nice man, a sitting MP. So whether you like it or not, the history and now the background of NDC and the way they've trained some of their guys, and now they have no job. The only thing they know to do is crime. They've been trained. So whether you like it or not, in a way they are doing it, but the security agencies really need a little commendation. The president is on his game. His national security advisor is on his game. His IGP, his interior minister, and Bruce Derry is on his game. If you talk of, all his security agencies, Dominic Natiwul is on his game. Kendapa is on his game. They're doing their best. 2 months to election, a plot has been conjured. We should thank God. Can you imagine that again? A sitting MP and a minister killed. It is for me, cousin, no, not me. For more line, no, me will say 10 minutes being to me distribute no amamo. By say 2 minutes, me pamo chop. Me fro be na so to me 2 minutes, mamia. Bonne 2 minutes, mommy, tell. Uncle Kizito, Bobo 2 minutes. You, Uncle Kizito, ni help me that say. Dina, my friend, if you know, I'm saying, yeah, Jumo, Guman, and I said, the child, see, no.
Jomo.
Hey, Jomo, Mike, you best, after this, I promise, my quality, do Jomo Bonne 2 minutes, mommy, why?
If I show a friend is saying, to see the Chelsea campaign in Montino. The distortion is not done.
Exactly, Jomo, because NBC almost shifted goalposts now they cannot catch her because almost the infrastructure and koyi almost the tribal politics and koyi.
Your friend is saying, shifting the goalposts is what they are best at doing, and then me a friend is saying. Of Osukwachi, Guru, but to me is one of the most confused communicators I have ever come across. And then a friend is saying, Mahama, Ebetrabe, to Papa on how drawdown is done and how debt stock is accumulated and calculated. And not by also, Daddy. A friend is saying, it should be done based on projects. Mostly, I just, say. And the HM say, oh, Bushana Musi Abon, and your Busha boy, Busha Momo boy, and they buy in a drawdown a dear project. Namukamusio, they don't know what we have done with the money.
Yeah, I could see the Minister of Information also explaining that.
Yes, when only the quite soccer come and tell you now, opposite what is in the community said. When you talk about say your friend is saying, who should the project be given to? Also, the project say by so. Name Bosiana a day project say the Mufanka Momo the most I say officer join out here because if you are telling us that we should take we should have the Bosiano accumulation
and then credit you people with the project.
And then credit you with the project. It becomes that's the most confusing thing I've ever heard.
That is called the definition of that is called hypocrisy.
Exactly, at its highest. It's in a memo. I think say a friend saying information is like I said, Dr. Bamaba, but to watch I hope that the Ghanaians will pay attention and listen to how confused the party is, because I mean more time no, 4 years you did no. Apart from Circle Dubai, I must start here. Commission. You know, sometime during the year, a few months ago, no. I communication director and officer and they were confused about who Circle Dubai project should be apportioned to. Mahamo, because according to him, you know, some part of it was started during Mills time. Some other part of it was done during Bahamas time. As to who it belongs to, nobody even knows. Besides that, they started a commission. They saw a single project, major infrastructure project, and this is for start here. I know what besides said about me. You now Bonito.
On
the ball schools near the and another one so Bekaya and to me and say Yes, say you almost say it observed say Rebecca say 18,000 projects because the accounting projects such as ABR, you quite ridiculous. We should count them as a major project. However, I won't say na school say na mosi a secondary school but when you put out the number of buildings that we have put together, what can you boom a change say a bit like I say 1,000 something infrastructure, SHS, intervention schools say you know. What is more than 300 schools, secondary schools here. And today they might for one project as an accumulated project, but we should sparse it out. And today maybe more a better over church mama.
Yo, mini Jimon and was senior NDC kind of dev stocks in Yemen. Yemen was saying people from Munkamo to Mokuma to me, Minister of Information, or Barbon Tebet, where the amount the economy gurus, the economy team, Dr. Bawumia team, Omobema, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, they respond at the right time. But Jomo Kokai be about Circle, almost a Circle Dubai Commission, you know. NTATF for Akufo-Addo when he go to the Volta region, he has something. Me dewa mi kurom tumu, Laura, Nandom, Bole, Bolaga, Zabila, Boku, Winkongo, Tamale, Walwale. Wakati na say anajo, maminda, oko sunlight ewa Circle. How does that even benefit me down there? Oko sunlight, to be best senti, maminda. Papa bi ba ya wasi hey Jack, national cake no baby all de bia no wo. Me cheche no kakra. Oba wa wo no obeko school. Debia me betina radio amanado. I want to throw this challenge again and again. Every NPP communicator should tell every NDC communicator out there that for the very first time, there is nothing under His Excellency Akufo-Addo. There have not been one instance where the Association of Assistant Headmasters call meeting and they've decided to call off schools to go on strike or to let students sit home because there's no feeding grounds. For the very first time, and your coverter for 4 years, our schools, secondary schools, have run with sufficient food to feed them. Nothing like ABR. Sometimes when you think about it, some of us went through it. Dan, I know you went through it. It's a shame to close down a school because there was no feeding grounds. It has never happened under Akufo-Addo. And to say, if you say you haven't even gotten the benefit, that is a direct benefit. Mama menka kakape na mama 2 minutes na mama me pastor me ko Uncle Kizito so. Kakape you there? Okay, Kakape no dey hear me. Uncle Kizito you there?
I hear you ba.
Okay, Kakape mama me more 2 minutes bon to mama run up.
Right. So, and then your topic here. Say nyina amanyo sema ye tu ye ho si wo se wo ya manuku a obekire enkofo abeso omoto abama no se we ni me policy discussion concrete stuff nipa betimi ahweso adu ato aka enye komo obi sika no nkoku obi agana fo amutie yen samre nyina no so ate ene woni pabone fo bi a wo hye ba bi a wo plan no and when you na wo plan you ochina be you obi fufuro say answa no a enya de pa e boman nye enti ye nyina no eye responsibility as politicians, as political party or mind back up wo na oni ho na wo ye wabusu ani bi hye ho wo afi adun katia NDC fo a mo plan saa ademponi we no nyina no enye mabusu nyina na matimi adwane edi aba na wo watimi de wo yire na o ma ba hye ha no ma wonu ya yire na onu aba bi nso e esrem enye ntokwa enye kum ile ni entra ye nto aba ne ma na wo lusu debate na that is not the end ana Akufo-Addo oba OH oba 2012 na nyame ye na dum 2016. That is not the end of the world. The Nienta Yantomau. Uncle Kumobi. I'm also a bomb of pardon, so no. Police for what you are, ma. Yanchero almost sends a woman and Tontomno or Moma welcome ceremony. And for Munko. Now, you who say, or mind back, a bomb mobile. 2020, a form of an enough to do more. When you made us.
Yo, miamini ya kakapet na mecho inankano ma. Uncle Kizito wohwa nama mo 2 minutes. Minim se dan bepe 2 minutes biya. But Uncle Kizito wohwa 2 minutes. Wohwa.
Yo, Victor. Kaka me kan chatwa ni se. NPP kwa wame yen sorry engineer.
Yo.
Na any ruling government. Sa ayene se tansi do opposition for the years na nipa bi edi yachi especially man no mo lose confidence. Sa den ye wa ban mu ye ti ho na NBC fo hu na yen. Yen pen fo no won to me sorry. Won be ka wo hu na police fo nso aboa won. Na won wan ka wo hu a se BBC na police fo kope. Na chi se police fo no take the other party. So won mo sorry. Won mo sorry. Na police be pata no. Won mo ko be fa lo be pata. Yan tinase. Na sa ko pe me sa nema ayi basabasa no wo manu mu. Enema basabasa na wo mo ye no those days no. Etwam embegum. Ye ka te yen ko force se wo mo patrol wo areas nyina. Me wo ho bi ho na enye ho no te a. Mo amunim de ba bia ese modern ko hye. Mo amunim dada. Ba bia ese modern ko so ye ho obeye den wo ho. Ko no china odi be answer because ya small pitamale se braswe do da be biewu na san gane ko se de bia me ka wa fidie so me se wo makofa ahoho e no wo ma chiche won because nipa no nam so do di bone ni wie pe no agane ko tamale wo be den na do hu no enjo bia ya alert e fi a wutiri ya alert o wo bi ba e se bi so se hoho yi fi hi mo hwehwe se ayi affordable house na Woma ye kumasi ni tise wo munya ba bi na NDC ko kofa won ba wo mu first na NDC kofa won ba e hon word wo kogu akonfo no na de wo kogu affordable house num Victor mami pa manusia
Yo me am senior senior Kizito me pacho bwachi ya dom memo be say me 1 minute be to spare ha
me also
me pacho 1 minute but to mami why
yo mate ade menu apani Kizito kana ya no kre no amitie Canada Japan or the say ne TV or the say
net two
and yes security no what can answer no say NDC for wo mo makosesa wo nyina ebi wo or the say kuma say aswansi baby a wo masisi saa edan no wo no wose ebi wo wose wo munim area na wo wo no enyina o kan no net 2 eso saa na me dia ne se beka 3 days amiato abana nanado o momodna se obenanso se obia wonim sa we ye foreigner na un free Ghana ekronum bia no obia MP baby a wote no hye wo fie ho no enti sa wa we foreigner bia se ye chiwa wo be ko je 10 years won hye samra no wo a wonim sa we foreigner bia no MP afensi so ekro bia wonim wo bi se obi de enipa na abaso se ekurase se hen ye de obi abasa ekronum so ye hoho bia no wo hina ho enyi sa nipa no empiem ye ho enipa no adekora wo ye nkrom ho
yo
taase mo emefre kura ko Ghana wo de say e won na 2 eso na be sa message so ama wo mo
yo
say ye be to aba within 72 hours no hoho bia wo free oman mu bia no hye efie a wo ba a wo be so a wo timo no hye ho mempie wo pie si abonten ye chiwa we become 10 years and I said the police did by Obiano or the bay was speech more.
Yo
Manuasi.
Yo me yada penyinas edane you did there. Dano me more 1 minute run up mamin call me summary so na minko.
Yeah, big come that say the American say security issues, Victor, it's very good, sir. It's been made public and everybody's seeing the outcome of it, right? That is one good thing about, this IGP Amakasime Penasa. He puts the issues out there publicly for all Ghanaians to follow. They update Ghanaians on what is going on. So people will know that these are serious issues and people will be aware. In general, and if the government is taking serious action, sir, the whole population is behind government. They understand why government is doing what it is doing, and they are not left in the dark, and they are very, supportive of government action. That is how it has to be. And I commend the IGP for making the issues public and putting it out there, and making it transparent. So that we would watch and be mindful about our political opponents and then not take anything for granted. On that score, I think that, Victor, government has done well, and it's unfortunate that we've lost some lives, but in all, it's good that government has a plan towards curtailing Saudi. On that score, I would say kudos to the government. And kudos. When you see something, please say something. Thankfully, now we have a 112 number, right? And we have a PIT number. If you call that 112 number, they can direct you to the PIP or group which picks up personal, information from people, and then they can make use of that information. The other thing, they say, if you even put it on Facebook, on social media, the security has a cyber security unit that tracks everything that happens on social media.
No, correct.
Intelligence from there, and then follow up on those intelligence, and then see if it realizes or it materializes into something, and then they go off from there. And, they are everywhere. They are not losing their guns, and they are working for Ghana. Kudos to Ghana police, but the professionalism, you can be assured, sir, they will get good outcomes. Thank you, Victor, and have a good night.
You're for Dan Amotin Kano, higher radio Amanado, and then a Hanadi comedy no besi NT, me Samare Namako. It's for we NPP-USA program I had Bremo. You see, what issues about security is what we are discussing today. And we just really have to thank the government, the president of the day, his interior minister, his national security, and his minister of defense, and his IGP, and all his service commanders. I'm talking of the president, His Excellency Akufo-Addo, his interior minister, Ambrose Derry, his minister of defense, Dominic Natural, and his national security advisor, Ken Dapa. You see, the Upper West region is where I am from, and I can tell you one thing good. Right now, there's a military base that they are even building in Tumu, because there were a lot of armed robbery cases. I am telling you, because of the military base, Tumu and for that matter, Sisala East, Sisala West, going to London, Laura, Hamlet, that area, they can't remember the last time they reported any case of a security situation like that, of an unsafe situation, because the military patrolled that whole area. We just need to thank our president. The reality on the ground is that we are working. The government of the day is working. The national cake is being shared equally. In fact, we've implemented programs, solutions that it took the whole world, the most richest man in the world, to say, if I had known years ago zipline was something I would have actually thought of doing. Here we are doing it in Ghana, saving lives. Somebody is telling us that today he is sorry, we should forgive him. For what? Council and chiefs really be bold enough to tell His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, open your mouth, tell Ghanaians what you did and you are sorry. Is it because you call Ashantis ungrateful? Now you send Mugabe there to insult them more? By telling them that if you use their own gold to build a road, they will still be ungrateful to you. Is it because you told Ghanaians that you are a dead goat and so our Christ can go to hell? Is it because you increase electricity, the bills of electricity, when we were actually suffering with Dumsu? Is it because you canceled the small allowances that were given to nurses and teacher trainees? Is it because research allowances were held back? Is it because you could not actually even pay teachers who earned their promotional allowances for more than 2 years? Tell us why you are sorry. Then we'll think of forgiving you or not. The man is asking, we borrowed money. He doesn't know what we use it for. Well, I will answer him one. His mother is from Busunu. For the very first time, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo has commissioned the Busunu water project. We borrowed money for that. He was the MP for Bola Bamboy, The boiler water project, we've borrowed money for that. So if he doesn't know what we are using the money for, we've given some to them. At least he gave our bauxite 58% to Ibrahim Mahama, his younger brother. The vision of Akufo-Addo, he took that from the brother. Went into a barter trade for the very first time, the first ever, the very, very first of its kind. Oh, are you hear me, Phil? Have you seen it in Tamale? The interchange, you know. That's the first in the north. It's not been built by a northern president. It's Akufo-Addo. John Mahama was an MP, became a minister, vice president, president. Wow, so John Mahama didn't ye. Gonja for a kukudam from your bonura. Almost your pouch, your bano, your duak of parliament more than once. Over your vice president, over your president, your per regional capital. Your per region. Your mama auntie me a more gonja for regional. Nema mi krom want me a more muswo. To no baby. Nebody boni bi. Na dada abumano come up voting boni bi. Na hunya wo banya. Inti Ghana for nyina yesremo. Oya Ghana ni nasa o America, o London, o baby, o Germany, Japan. Frobi. WhatsApp obi. Text obi. A catchment for cross a 7th of December. A one choice. Number one. One for victory. 4 more. One touch. His Excellency Akufo-Addo with all his parliamentary candidates. With all his parliamentary candidates, me produce as a soro hoya neko because baby nyame de kono. What they call soro. A soro na nyame de ko and to ko mistake. Na so bad down one step. O de coachre. Nyankupon na de NPP bema eko for first slot. Or catch Ghana for said, this is my son. I've anointed him. He's taking you to the promised land. Amen. Don't make that mistake by going one step back, forward ever. And Akufo-Addo Akufo-Addo has only lived a dream. He has only brought the dream of people like Nkrumah into reality. 4 more for Mr. Man, Mr. Doer, promise keeper to do more. NPP. Obia say, she. Waiting for Niamidi touch. What I want to use to conclude here is that we just want to thank His Excellency the President of Ghana and all his security apparatus for being on the game. They are keeping their word. They are keeping us more safe. His Excellency, thank you very much. Your Minister of Interior, His Honorable Ambrose Derry, thank you very much for being on the game. You are on your job. I want to thank Dominic Natero, the Minister of Defense. I want to thank Ken Dapa and all your security commands and the IGP. Just keep on with the good work. Ghanaians love you and we appreciate good work. Again, nina ndoma na bina ndoma tieke tupure na ya barka na vote crew Ambrose Derry and NPP a 7th of December na lawara and let ne eku Ambrose Derry olane tunetume omal ne sor from Hamley to Nandom ukurinu kwon ole kuni buma yawa electricity vu yawa niza chenti ne eku Ambrose Derry ene eku His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo belebe yi enne de Ghana a chenninge ni purenyina barka yes and you are in Fabio I in the ya buso afadi Ghana ye na ye my head to one say